Listen, your savings account is robbing you blind. But don't worry, I found out a way how to make my money work for me in my sleep, and I can help you do the exact same thing. Now, this isn't no get rich quick scheme. This isn't no pyramid scheme. This isn't something just trust me situation. This is legit, and this is something that your every average day person can implement in their lives, and they can really get to a bag. This isn't a short-term play. It's a long-term play. There's a promo going on right now, so you definitely want to jump on it before the price goes up because this is too valuable. The link is in the description, and hey, let's get our money up. Let's get back to the video. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another show, one of the dopest shows on YouTube where we talk about everything under the sun. As long as we get back to the money, real conversations, and real solutions. I'm your host, Courtney Edgar. Yeah. Listen, man, we got some dope topics for y'all tonight. We gonna lock it in. You know, we're gonna talk about ICE and what's going on out there in Minneapolis. You know, we're going to talk about a little bit about money. You know, we just going to talk about a little about everything what's been going on in regards to the Grammys. We're going to lock in. All right. So before we get there, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. And make sure you hit the bell notification. All right. So I want to go ahead and get this thing popping off right now. Let's go ahead and dive into this ICE situation. So for those of y'all who don't know, they are doing an ICE sit-in in Target. These people are getting out of hand. I don't know what's going on with them, but we're going to figure out what's going on. Y'all ready? Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's lock in, bro. Is that a grandma with purple hair? Is that a grandma with purple hair? Look at the demographic of people that's out there. Look at the demographic.
ICE out of Minnesota, Target. We thought we told you, ICE out of Minnesota, Target. We thought we told you, ICE out of.
Look at the demographic of people out there. These are motherfuckers who are all of these old farts that are in retirement age, ain't got shit else better to do but go out here and protest in front of a Target. Don't y'all need to be doing something else? Don't y'all need to be focusing on gardening? Don't y'all need to be focusing on trying to win the competition of who got the best yard, best line? Ain't that something that y'all need to be focusing on right now? Why are y'all out here in front of Target protesting? Knowing damn well in the next couple of weeks, you're going to be right back in there in Target, up in that bitch shopping. What are we doing, bro?
Minnesota, Target. We thought we told you, ICE out of Minnesota, Target. We thought we told you, ICE out of Minnesota, Target.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Veronica Mendez-Moore, and I'm with the ICE Out Now Minnesota Coalition. And we're here today outside of Target headquarters on the first day of the new CEO, Michael Fidelki, to welcome him into his new role and ask him to join us in calling for ICE to leave our state. We want them to end the violence that cost Alex Preddy and Renee Good their lives and has torn apart thousands of families. Target is at a crossroads today. They can continue to ignore the thousands and thousands of voices locally and across the country who are calling on them to be a good corporate citizen and to stand up for our families and our communities, or they can listen to us, they can stand with us, and they can demand that ICE leave Minnesota now. This weekend, at over 36 Target stores in Minnesota, as well as across the country, thousands of people went into their stores to raise their voices and call for Target to demand that they stand with us. Our demands have been clear. Publicly call for an immediate end to the ICE surge into Minnesota and for ICE and Border Patrol to leave the state. Right. 2, that Target exercise their Fourth Amendment rights and publicly post signage denying entrance to immigration agents who do not have a signed judicial warrant as required by law. And that they train staff well on how to respond when immigration agents arrive at stores.
So you ain't gonna hold your mayor nor your governor accountable? Because last time I checked, the police weren't out there, doing what they were supposed to do, police the people, making sure that it's a peaceful protest, making sure they are impeding with investigations. That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought the policeman was supposed to do when ICE enters your city. That's what I thought was supposed to happen. So we're gonna take all the responsibility away from the people who actually are responsible for the city and the state. We're gonna take away all the responsibility that they were supposed to send all of their policemen out there to help with ICE agents, but yet y'all want to blame Trump and ICE. Got it.
We demand that Target publicly call to shut down Trump's ICE. That they lobby Congress for no additional federal funding for ICE in the upcoming congressional budget, and that ICE should be investigated for human and constitutional violations of Americans and our neighbors.
That's a fact. Listen, that's a fact, Dirty Jersey. That's 100% fact. We still care for them, but understand, bro, we got to move different. We got to move different in 20, bro. We got to move different. Excuse me. What up, Bull City? What's up, my guy?
And finally, that Target must demand that any federal officer who kills or harms a civilian be held legally accountable. Yes! So today, you'll hear from a few Minnesotans about why we are continuing our push.
Y'all really think that y'all really think that Target is gonna listen to the shit that y'all talking about? One or two things. Listen, at the end of the day, what y'all don't understand is Target is a business. They're gonna go where the money's at. So if they feel as if they're gonna lose their bottom line to, stand behind what's going on, they might. But do I believe that they're gonna do that in order to affect their bottom line? Absolutely not. It sounds good. You can stand in front of their building all day long. If they do not see an upside to their business, guess what's gonna happen? You might as well cancel Christmas. You might as well find another store to go shop at, because it ain't happening. It's not happening. No, I don't give a damn how much you protest. You can protest as much as you want. If you ain't got no money to make no shit move, you might as well cancel Christmas. 110%.
For Target and their new CEO to use their influence and force the administration to end the occupation of our cities and stop this regime of terror here and across the country. So first, I would like to invite up.
I don't see not one immigrant out there. I don't see one immigrant out there. One. Look at everybody in the back. Look at all of them in the back. Not one of them. Not one of them. Not one. But I know what them immigrants probably are doing. Some probably over there, they probably still, practicing in that fraud, over there with the daycares. The others, they probably are working because they still got to pay the bills. They still got to make some money to send back over there to their country. They ain't got time for that. Or they're hiding out. They're making sure that making sure that they remain unseen, so that way don't nobody come looking for them to send them back to where they come from. But these niggas ain't got shit else to do. She probably a stay-at-home mom. Her husband probably at work right the fuck now. Guarantee it. Her husband's probably at work right the fuck now, making money. He probably like, what the fuck is she over here doing? Let alone, he probably like, you know what? Go do your thing, babe. Go do what you do. Go find yourself something to do. Go find yourself a hobby. Man, this shit crazy.
Pastor Doug Mork.
Pastor who?
Good morning. I am Pastor Doug Mork. I am a pastor at Holy Trinity Lutheran Church in the Longfellow neighborhood of South Minneapolis. My congregation and neighborhood are seeing heartbreaking ICE activity every day, right? During the service yesterday, we were monitoring ICE activity within just a few blocks, and it is tearing families apart. It is causing incredible harm to the neighbors that we're called to love. For years, corporations like Target have been accumulating power and asking for more, to have an influence in our community.
Exactly. Cool. Go ahead. Do as much protesting as you want to. Because I'm pretty sure they don't own the building anyway. All they're gonna do is uproot, take that bitch somewhere else. Like, you know what? We're gonna take our tax dollars to somewhere else where we are appreciated, where we can actually focus on business and not all of these propagandas and agendas. Just saying.
And in our country, we are asking them to show the same level of courage that neighbors are showing every day, who are answering this call to love neighbor and are stepping into the mix. We're now asking Target to do the same, to be courageous, to follow the call to love neighbor, to lead as a Minnesota homegrown company, and to speak out against the things that are happening, to protect their workers in stores, to speak out and use their voice to turn this administration and get ICE out of Minnesota.
So how you expect somebody to love thy neighbor when you ain't even loving your counterparts who are trying to protect you in your country? Ain't that some shit? How you gonna try to use that against them, but yet y'all aren't doing the same exact thing? You aren't saying, listen, why aren't you, as the pastor, since you read the Bible, you're supposed to know the Bible from beginning to end, through and through, right? Why aren't you sitting back telling them, hey, listen, I understand that we are upset. I understand that, a couple of people got unalived in this situation. However, it doesn't make the situation better for us to antagonize and impede on investigations, get in the way of people who are getting paid to do their job. Cool. If you want to protest over here to the side. If you want to be agitators, make sure you stay out of the way, stay out of the path of these federal agents so they can do what the hell they're supposed to be doing right now and what our tax dollars pay for. But y'all aren't doing that. Y'all out here protesting in front of a fucking store in Minneapolis in the goddamn freezing cold, which I'm pretty sure is probably in single digits right now. What? Oh my God, this is crazy. I'm pretty sure a lot of that.
Thank you, Doug. Next, we're gonna invite up Heather.
That's exactly what they're protesting
Heather
for.
Hecker. I'm with Unidos, Minnesota. I'm a Minneapolis resident.
Oh, we know she'll live,
I'm
bro.
an assistant at a local hospital. At home, I'm seeing a caregiver at my neighborhood daycare center be abducted and transported to Texas, even though she's a legal resident, leaving behind her 3-year-old to live without a mother. At work, I am.
Let me ask y'all a question. How is it? How we all? If they are like real deal. Seriously though, can somebody enlighten me on this? Real talk. I'm not even trying to be funny. Somebody enlighten me on this. If you're considered legal, correct, and an ICE agent you know, and an ICE agent grabs you up, aren't they supposed to let you go if that just so happens? Or is it the fact that there may be something else that's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, but we only look at it as, oh, this person is legal, so therefore they need to let them go? Or could it be that they may be hiding in illegal? They may be subject to somebody who they know may be an illegal, something like that. Could that be it? Maybe, I don't know. Somebody give me some insight on that, because maybe I'm the one that's crazy. Maybe I'm the one that's out of pocket.
People to our mental health hospital because of the stress and trauma caused by ICE, while getting reports that ICE agents are trying to illegally enter our ambulance bay. This is a crisis that's going to require all of us coming together to resist what is happening. Just as it's not sustainable for our communities to continue being terrorized by ICE, it is not sustainable for Target either. Target will not continue to profit if we live under authoritarian rule, and Target will not survive the moral injury of staying silent in this moment. The statement Target...
Let me see something real quick. Yeah, let me see something real quick. Let me see something. Let's see. As of today, California is the most profitable state for Target. California is the most profitable state, most profitable state. In terms of raw sales volume and store count, hosting over 320 stores as of early 2026, which accounts for roughly 16% of its total U.S. locations. California also leads in foot traffic, followed by Florida and Illinois, indicating the highest revenue generating market. So, do you really think that what Minnesota is doing, because who the fuck wants to just uproot and go to Minnesota in the first fucking place? I've never heard nobody say, you know what, man, I'm gonna leave here, I'm gonna move to Minnesota. 9 times out of 10, you probably were born there, or you may have taken a job there that probably paid you a significant amount of money that would have enticed you to move that way. Other than that, I have seen nobody who wanted to move to Minnesota. Yeah, California is $2 billion in debt, that's for sure. But what I looked up is, what state is Target most profitable in? That's what I looked up. I looked at what state is Target most profitable in, because she stated that they're going to lose profits in Minnesota. So you really think that's going to hurt if they had to uproot and go somewhere else? No. I don't think there's a lot of foot traffic that comes through Minnesota anyway, compared to Illinois, California, and Florida. No.
Get released on January 25th with 60 other Minnesota companies was far from enough. Regular Minnesotans are being brave. They're standing on corners at 6 a.m. to keep children and mothers from being abducted. They're boarding up each other's front doors after ICE knocks them in with battering rams, and they're using their voices to speak up. We are asking you, Michael Fidelki, to be brave with us, to stand up and say that what ICE is doing is not right. Until now, Target has been silent. We are asking Target to demand an end of the terror that ICE is wreaking on Minnesota. As you know, Michael, Target relies on immigrants, from the workers in your stores to the drivers who deliver groceries to the people who grow and process the food that you sell. We're asking you to speak out against the violent abductions of those workers. Our neighbors, our fellow workers, our family members, they deserve dignity. They deserve work permits and a pathway to citizenship. We are standing in solidarity with Target workers who have been asking you to protect their Fourth Amendment rights and keep ICE out of your stores and parking lots. We are asking you to listen to your workers who are just wanting you to.
That's what I'm
protect their
saying. That's what I'm
constitutional
saying. Motivation. Did she mute herself? She muted herself. What the hell? Girl, can't nobody hear you?
Michael Fidel.
She just straight muted herself.
We ask that you speak up. Our communities are
Michael said,
suffering.
"Nah, I'm good."
2 people are dead and thousands of families have been torn apart and harmed by ICE.
2 people
In
are
the
dead
face
because of what?
this pain and danger, everyday Minnesota.
2 individuals are unalive. Why? They don't want to have that conversation. Why are they unalive? Why? They weren't just walking down the street and all of a sudden the ICE agent pulled up on them. No. None of that. From the last time I checked, that ain't what it looked like in the video in either one. But they don't want to have that conversation though. They just trying to find an angle and they gonna continue to keep pushing that shit.
Minnesotans have stood up and taken care of each other. But one of the biggest companies in our state has refused to stand with us.
You're
We've
marrying
seen
governor.
that Target has allowed ICE to stage operations in its parking lots. We all saw the video when Customs and Border Patrol assaulted and kidnapped 2 U.S. citizens. We've seen the harm that's been caused by this surge to local businesses. And throughout all of this, Target has said next to nothing. We need to be clear that what is happening in Minnesota wouldn't be possible without the complicity or the enablement of Trump's corporate backers. To end this siege, we need companies like Target to use their influence to force the administration to end the occupation of Minnesota and shut down ICE. It is frustrating.
What's good, y'all? So after doing a little research, I found out that 90% of the people that do watch my content, they aren't subscribers. Look, do me a huge favor, and it doesn't cost you anything. Go and hit the subscribe button right now, because then it tells me that you are gaining value from this content, as well as I look at it as an investment into the platform that allows me to continue to keep getting better and better with my content. So if you've gained any value here, go and hit the subscribe button right now. I appreciate you.
Hasn't stepped up beyond a weak letter, but a new CEO gives them a chance to do the right thing. We call on Michael Fidelki to do what is right. Speak up, 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 speak up. Thank you. And now we will invite if there are any questions from the press to ask those questions now.
What was your name again?
Veronica Mendez Moore
From where?
from the Ice Out Now Minnesota Coalition.
Thank you. I do have a question for the pastor. What is your church and your position on the Libby Armstrong's protest against David Easterwood, who's an ICE field director and also a pastor at City Church in St. Paul. Do you think that protest is justified being behind
You know, I'm focused right now on what my congregation is focused on, which is care for the neighborhood, responding to the damage ICE is doing. People are acting in a whole variety of ways, and I'm glad people are trying to get ICE out of Minnesota and speaking up. We're here at Target to call on Michael Fidelki to use his voice to speak against Target. That's what my congregation is looking for, and we want him to show the courage that others are showing.
Oh damn, my bad. I was over here cooking. I said, ain't he supposed to be in the streets? I mean, ain't he supposed to be in the church preaching the word of God? Why he out here in the streets? He's supposed to be getting people off the goddamn streets and bringing them into the congregation to teach them of the word of God in order to change their ways, because they've been real sinful. They got that monkey on their back. But instead, he out here in the streets protesting, talking about get ICE out of Minnesota, get ICE out of Minnesota. Nigga, how about you get a lot of these degenerates off the street? How about you help do that? Go preach the word of God. If you're gonna be on the streets, go preach to some people. Go stand on the corner like them, what you call them dudes who be in purple and gold, be standing on the corner trying to preach? Who that is? I forgot what you call them. Why you ain't out there handing out lunches and shit to other people to the needy, to those who need? Why you ain't out there doing that? Why you ain't out there collecting funds to help get these motherfuckers off the street? Why you ain't doing that? But you out here protesting because you ain't got nothing else better to do. All right. Yeah, it must be a PR opportunity. Look at him.
Any other
Look at him. Listen, take a step. Just for a moment before we go on to the next topic. That's still regarding Target. Look at the people. Look at the demographic of people that's just standing there. Look at them. Look at them. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna tell y'all to look at them. I'm pausing the video just so y'all can take a really good look at these people. I don't see not one immigrant there. Not one. I don't see not one immigrant standing over there, holding up a sign at all. I don't even see a black person over there holding up a sign. I don't even see besides her, I only see, besides this one individual in this maroon jacket, besides her, I don't see one other brown person. Anyway, let's go over and let's hear what the other pastor, Jamal Bryan, got to say about this shit.
Blaming DEI, that's what one of America's biggest companies is doing, as Target reported a slump in sales. The CEO pointing fingers in part at what he called the reaction to the updates we shared on belonging in January. Now, that statement is according to CNBC. What the CEO is referring to was translated much more bluntly by one analyst who said, quote, Target is struggling after strategic missteps on DEI. And that is because people across the country have been boycotting the retail giant since March. And this is the man leading the growing effort.
It is not because of tariffs. It is not because of the stock market. It is because of the power of black unification and the black dollar. $12 trillion in spending power is not anything that we should laugh at.
That's Pastor Jamal Bryant of Atlanta.
So I know good and damn well Pastor Jamal Bryant is not out here talking about $12 trillion as if that's supposed to mean something. Sir, do you know that makes the black community look even worse? The fact that all of our money is going out to other companies instead of to our own communities? You understand how crazy that sounds? Do you understand how crazy that sounds? 12 trillion in purchasing power. Matter of fact, let me look some up. I'm sorry. Since 2024 to 2025, $1.7 trillion annually. $1.7 trillion annually. That means that was a significant, so current spending power, black consumer spending is estimated to be around 1.7 trillion in 2024 to 2025, a significant increase from $910 billion since 2019. That is crazy. but y'all supposed to be broke out here, right? Y'all broke out here. So what that tells me, and correct me if I'm wrong, what that tells me is that we spending our money on a lot of bullshit instead of putting money back into the community to help the Black community grow. Since y'all like to talk about pouring back into the Black community, listen, y'all got $1.7 million of annual spending power, $1.7 trillion. 13% of the population, $1.7 trillion. And here's the crazy part. Projected growth is expected to climb to 2.5 to 3 trillion by 2030. What? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing. Outpacing other groups, the growth rate of Black household spending has outpaced that of white households over the last 2 decades. Watch this. Major category spending: beauty and grooming, apparel and footwear, automotive, food and groceries, media and entertainment. I don't see investments. I don't see businesses. I don't see any of that. I see beauty and grooming, apparel and footwear, automotive, food and groceries, that's a need, but still though, some of y'all be buying some expensive shit that you don't need to be buying. But hey, I'll give you grace on that one. Food and groceries, media and entertainment. You think I'm lying? All right, watch this. Think I'm just talking on the side of my neck? Look at that. That is crazy.
Atlanta, and he joins me now. And Pastor Brian, I'm glad to have you back. When we first spoke, it was when you were in the very early days of this, and now here we are, the Target CEO saying he's not satisfied with the.
Ooh, hold up, that's a good one. You said that's called what? Let me look that up. What is this called? Let me see. You said conspicuous. Let me see. Conspicuous consumption. Conspicuous consumption. Y'all like that, huh? Some of y'all who don't know how to read, you gotta learn how to you gotta learn how to properly say your words, man. Expenditure on or consumption of luxuries or on a lavish scale in attempt to enhance one's prestige. There you go. So I'm gonna read it to you again. Shout out to Bull City. Expenditure on or consumption of luxuries on a lavish scale in attempt to enhance one's prestige. That's what conspicuous consumption means. Why?
Recent performance, he attributes it in part to the quote updates they shared on belonging. What's your response to that?
That all of this is avoidable. Brian is fully aware that the African-American spending dollar has a whole lot of muscle, and his betrayal to our community has repercussions and consequences. As a consequence, the stock has plummeted, that valuation has gone down, and even his own salary has been slashed, all because he's been dishonorable and not integrous with the Black community.
So how long do you intend to continue this?
Everything I named.
Until something shifts. We've got staying power. We've got a model. The Montgomery bus boycott 70 years ago went 381 days. And our community is resolved and focused and intentional that we're not going to spend our dollars where we're not honored and where we're not appreciated.
So other companies.
This is the same man who was just out here trying to explain himself why his wife was wearing a certain looking dress. And this is crazy.
Companies that have scaled back their DEI programs to varying degrees include Lowe's, McDonald's, Walmart, Amazon in some respects. So are you looking at expanding this beyond Target?
Oh, no, we're very clear. Over 17 companies have walked away from diversity, equity, and inclusion. But we decided with resolve and intentionality that we were going to do one at a time. Target is the first, it is not the last. And another company is going to be coming on the radar in the next couple of weeks.
In the next couple of weeks, there'll be another one. All right. So I want to ask you one thing, though, when you talk about the power of the black dollar, and it is just the flip side, right? That you're showing that power when it comes to Target, but there are Black entrepreneurs who are also selling at Target who are negatively impacted by this as well. A new report from the Wall Street Journal, they went through sales of Play Pits, which is Black owned. They said sales at Target of that product have fallen about 30% since April. Beautiful Curly Me also attributing reduced sales to your boycotts.
This is broke people behavior. This is broke people behavior. This is what people who ain't focused on their money, who ain't focused on trying to build and grow, they got time to go protest. They got time to go sit inside Target. They got time to go talk and have a full-on conversation and have rants that rhyme with each other in front of Target. These are the people who ain't got time, who got more than enough time on their hands. Just like she mentioned, because there was, I believe this happened, either this was in 2025 or 2024. There was an African-American woman. She was an entrepreneur. She sold hair products. I believe it was hair care products, right? In Target. Excuse me. And I guess people were trying to boycott her brand because she decided not to take her shit off the shelf. She was like, no, what's wrong with y'all? No, I'm not, bruh, fuck what y'all talking about. This is my bottom line we talking about. We talking about my money here. We talking about my business, and you worried about diversity, equity, and inclusion? Man, listen. If anything, if y'all talking about the DEI, well, they got a Black woman's product in Target. That's DEI enough. That's DEI enough. But I guess you're willing to sacrifice it for the greater good, right? All right.
So what do you say to those business owners, right, who are members of the communities that you are, conducting this boycott on behalf of?
No, we're so mindful of them. That's why we partnered with the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce. Over 250,000 people have signed up at targetfast.org. And when they do so, we send them a digital directory of over 150,000 Black businesses across the country. We want to support those businesses. We're just not going to do it at Target. And so we'll do it directly through them and through their online platforms. Additionally, over Resurrection Weekend, 5 mega churches transformed their space into mega malls, a bullseye Black markets. So 100 vendors would go into those respective cities and support. We want to see them thrive, and we want to see them soar, and we're going to put our muscle and our money behind them.
All right. Well, Pastor Brian, I appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
Man, this shit here crazy as hell, dog. I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand it, bro. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification, man. Let's go ahead. Listen, I want to read the super chat real quick. Let me tap into the super chat real quick because the chat lives matter. Super chats always matter, dog. Shout out. Ooh. Shout out to our own golfer for the 20 ball. He says illegals have caused so much to the minority communities in order to support them. Stop and think the damage they have caused. The damage they have caused. Yes, you are 110% correct, my friend. 110% correct. Thank you for the super chat. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Listen, don't be afraid to invest in the platform. Chat lives matter. All right. So before I move on, let me read some of these comments. Too much of the Simpsons. Oh, yep. Read that. NDI. Yeah. Dude looks like Kendrick Lamar. Chill out. Then you can know what's going to happen towards that as well. He told video you guys try to prove anything. Who the fuck watches CNN like this, like it's a serious, legitimate news source? I mean, that's the thing though. I watched two versions. I watched Fox, and then I came over to CNN News. So, report every fucking illegal. They facts. White liberals are the worst ones. I 110% agree with you. I 110% agree with you. Now, speaking of liberals, speaking of illegals, I want to talk about the Grammys. Two individuals that we gonna watch here in a second. Billie Eilish and Shabuzi. For those of y'all who don't know, I think he's a rapper and a country artist, right? And for those of you who don't know who Billie Eilish is, I guess she's a pop singer, right? Young, both of them are young. Shabuzi, young. Billie Eilish, young. But they made some comments that people kind of tooted their nose up at a little bit. Some people kind of opened their eyes to, and then on the other side, a lot of people cheered and championed it on. So I'm gonna play the video, and then it's gonna be two videos. I'm gonna play two videos, and then I'm gonna give my thoughts and I'm gonna give my opinions on each one. All right. So let's go ahead and rock out.
Thank you so much. I can't believe this. Everyone else in this category, you're so amazing. I love you so much. I feel so honored every time I get to be in this room. And as grateful as I feel, I honestly don't feel like I need to say anything, but that no one is illegal on stolen land. And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter. And I say sorry.
The audience
Thank
is on
you
their
so
feet.
much. I can't believe this.
I'm gonna play it again.
This category, you're so amazing. I love you so much. I feel so honored every time I get to be in this room. And as grateful as I feel, I honestly don't feel like I need to say anything, but that no one is illegal on stolen land.
Talking, man. And you shut the fuck up. Huh?
What?
Yeah.
Man, look at, man, hell no.
Serious today, but that was crazy.
I'm not
that was
feeding.
crazy.
I'm not feeding. I'm not
Okay.
feeding.
And look at all these people clapping though. Wasn't she just under fire with the American Eagle shit? She was just under fire. Look at the ones actually out there, bitch, going crazy. Just look at the individual.
And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter. And I say sorry.
The audience
Thank
is on
you
their
so.
Y'all saying F ICE. You said the you're saying all of this, and you're benefiting off of American dollars. How about you take all of your riches, all of your millions and your mansions and everything that you got going on that people pay for, right? American tax dollars. How about you take all that and give it to the illegals then, since you're so protesty about it, since you're F ICE and all that? How about you do that? Why you won't go and do that? The last time I checked, you talking about. Hold on, let me. I want to make sure I get the phrase correct.
And as grateful as I feel, I honestly don't feel like I need to say anything, but that no one is illegal on stolen land.
No one is illegal on stolen land. You mean conquered, correct? I hope you mean conquered. Conquered. I would say conquered. I wouldn't say stolen. They conquered that motherfucker. It be what it is. So what you talking about? Nobody's illegal on stolen land. When you put parameters, correct? You put parameters in place, because this has been going on. When was the? Let me make sure I get my history correct. Make sure I get my history correct. So, July 4th, 1776. Right? July 4th, 1776. It was conquered, right? So, after all these years, after there have been legalities put in place, border patrol, all these different things, right? And you're going to sit here and tell me that there are no immigrants on stolen land. Some of y'all so dumb. Kelvin Jackson, what's the difference? Well, you got an opportunity to fight, to win, so you won't be conquered. That's the difference. See the difference. I'll break it down for you. Somebody came into your house and they conquered your house because you couldn't defend your home. What does that mean? Y'all kill me with this support of ICE. Yes, I do support it. Why wouldn't you? That's opening up more opportunities for you. Guess what? Your tax dollars going to them. What do you mean? Your tax dollars are going to them. While they having a good life and build and coming over here creating businesses and building businesses off of your tax dollars. Because mind you, they're illegal, right? So they get paid under the table. Now, there are some who, they got their visas and everything. There are some, right? But a lot of them, your tax dollars are going to them, and they're creating businesses and building businesses with your tax dollars. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But yet, here's what's fucking crazy to me? You saying somebody tap dancing. This is a white woman. So this is a white woman that you telling me that I'm tap dancing. I'm tap dancing. This is a white woman who just said that. So you telling me that I'm tap dancing, but yeah, you the one that's agreeing with her. So that means you tap dancing. That means you tap dancing. You tap dancing for a white apologist. You tap dancing for a person who believes that you're oppressed. That's what you tap dancing for. But I'm the one that's tap dancing, right? Y'all funny, bro. Thanks for an award. Thanks, my agents. Thank you, God. Peace. I'm out. Facts. That's it. That's what I'm saying. What you mean you ain't got nothing to say? That's it. Exactly. Thank you, God. Hey, look, for my fans, I appreciate you. I thank you for the love and support. Boom. I never would have thought in a million years I would have got this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Off the stage. Simple as that. Somebody told them to say that, bruh. Somebody told them to say that, but don't worry, we're gonna get there. Let's go to Shabuzi. Let's go to Shabuzi. Right, man. That outfit is outrageous. That fit is outrageous.
Damn. I just walked in here literally 10 seconds ago.
I'm just saying, though, I get it. I get creativity and openness, but dog, why y'all be dressing these people up like this, bro? This shit is wild. What is this outfit, man? It's like they be dressing black people up in the most egregious outfits, dog. What is that? You're supposed to be a country singer. What are you wearing? What is that?
I got a speech, man. I've never written a speech in my life, and yesterday I said, I should write a speech. I said, dear God, I just want to say thank you. Nothing is possible without you. Your love and will preserves me through it all. I want to also thank my mother, who as of today has retired from her job after 30 years. Working in the medical field as a registered nurse in the psych ward. She worked 3 to 4 jobs just to provide for me and my four siblings as an immigrant in this country. Thank you, Mom. Sorry, I know I don't got too much time. I'm gonna read this whole speech though. I also want to thank Jared Carter, Abbas Patti, Tina Davis, Ghazi, Nima, Nate Stevenson, and the entire Empire team for believing in me. Thank you so much, brother. And everybody else, Sean Cook, Devin Sastry, Josh Klein, and TKG, my lawyer, Bob Celeste, and everybody that's a part of this, Harvey Mason, thank you so much. I have the greatest team in the world. Thank you so much. And again, the last thing I want to say, immigrants built this country, literally.
When?
So this is for them.
When? What immigrants? What immigrants? I want to know this. I really do. What immigrants built it? What immigrants? You said, listen, the words verbatim. Immigrants built this country. Where? When? When did it start? When did it start? When did immigrants, the people who decided to say, you know what? I'm tired of living in this country. I'm just going to walk across these waters into the United States of America. When? 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 That's what I want to know. The last time I checked, I didn't see any brown people being hung on trees. I didn't see any brown people being harassed by Caucasian men and women. I didn't see brown people being lied on because they didn't want it, because a Caucasian woman didn't want to look like a hoe, so therefore she lies on a 14-year-old boy. Where? I didn't see any immigrants being put on a boat to come over here to a country unwillingly. Where? So where did they build this country? When did they build this country? Help me to understand it. I'm trying to understand it. Help me. When did they build it? What's up, famo? What's good with you? What's good with your spaces? So when did they build it? I didn't see any immigrants being hung on any trees, being chased by Caucasians, being sprayed down with hoses. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of them not being told that they couldn't read. They had to pick cotton. I didn't see any immigrants do that. I saw slaves though. I read about slaves. I ain't hear nothing about no immigrants though, who came across the country, who decided to come across the waters, who snuck into the country. Where? I'll leave that up for y'all. I will leave that up for y'all. That's a discussion for y'all. That don't make no sense to me.
For all children of immigrants, this is also for those who came to this country in search of better opportunity to be a part of a nation that promised freedom for all and equal opportunity to.
You came to this country to find a better life. You came to this country to find a better life. Where they built it at? Where? Oh, off the backs of American tax dollars. Is that how? Or am I tripping?
Everyone willing to work for it. Thank you for bringing your culture, your music, your stories, and your traditions here. You give America color. I love y'all so much. Thank you.
That's the most hijacked phrase I've ever heard. You give America color. So I guess black people wasn't enough color, huh? Oh my God. These some idiots, bro. These are some idiots. Now these people are what you would call tethers. These individuals are what you would call a tether. They're being told what to say. Guarantee you somebody told them to say that. Like, listen, man, give your speech, but somewhere in there, you gotta throw in about what's going on with ICE. That's gonna open the door for you. There's gonna be more people that's gonna recognize you because of the Grammys. That means that's gonna bring more fans for you. That's gonna bring a bigger fan base. And now you're gonna make more money. Come on, dog. Come on, bro. Who y'all fooling? Who y'all fooling? I know good and well y'all ain't listening to this shit. I know good and well y'all don't believe that shit that they talking about. I know you don't. I got faith in you. I know y'all don't believe in that. I know y'all don't. I'm not even going to. But hey, whatever. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Let me read some of these comments real quick. He says, listen, one thing that I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna read the comments, but I'm not gonna pull them up on the screen unless you throw a super chat in there. All right. So we gotta make sure that we doing things the proper way. Let's see. JB says, bitch, y'all stole the land. Y'all the real illegals by that definition. That's a fact. Y'all keep me with the support. Y'all keep with the support for ICE and about listening to you, Six Family, man. Kelvin Jackson, what's the difference? Tap dancer. Lord Alcatraz. This is what Ricky was talking about. Lord Alcatraz again said, thanks for an award. Thanks for my agents. Thank you, God. Peace. I'm out. Yup, facts. Mel Gill. Funny how the Immigration and Neutralization Act is likely older than she is, and you nailed it. We conquer and purchase this land with blood and money. Look up the Treaty of Guadalupe. Yup, Guadalupe Hidalgo. Yup. That's a fact. All right, so look, let's go ahead and move over to this. Next topic. We talked about this yesterday on the Banter and Barter Show, but I wanted to address it on this show as well. And this topic is about the sexual revolution has devalued women and made them infinitively less happy. All right, so we're gonna dive in. All right, so let's go ahead and rock out because this shit's crazy.
Women and made them infinitely less happy. Yes. No, maybe. Okay. Whoever feels strongly about it can speak.
I think that this term, calling it a sexual revolution, is quite strange and it distorts history. If you look at the history of like the way that people engaged in sex, it really has not quite changed much. The only thing that we've seen change for the most part is the rise in social media and the rise of seeking out sexual relationships through that. Because you can go back through history and look at like the Greeks and the Romans that were very openly sexual. People were.
Yeah, they were openly sexual. Guess what? Where has their empire gone? Do we hear anything about the Romans today? Absolutely not. So that was a horrible example. That was horrible.
Having sex in public. Like it was not a private thing. It never was. And it really only became like this private thing when you look at like the rise of like industrialism in the United States, and you see sex become like commodified, and it became like a dirty thing with also the rise of, like religion and Protestantism in the US also kind of demonized it, and it became a weapon used against women. And I think that we've seen the pendulum go from like being hypersexual in the past where sex wasn't like a commodified thing or it wasn't a demonized thing to kind of going through this period of like demonizing people for exploring their sexuality or things like that. And now we've kind of come back out the other side where some people abuse it, some people don't. And I think that you have to have moderation. I've said this before, like as far as devaluing women, I think that the problem with devaluing women who are open about their sexuality or commodify their own sexuality and take control over it is a problem with patriarchy. And I think it's a problem with misogyny. I don't think it's a feminism problem.
Well, I would say that
What's good,
when
y'all? So after doing a little research, I found out that 90% of the people that do watch my content, they aren't subscribers. Look, do me a huge favor, and it doesn't cost you anything. Go and hit the subscribe button right now, because then it tells me that you are gaining value from this content, as well as I look at it as an investment into the platform that allows me to continue to keep getting better and better with my content. So if you've gained any value here, go and hit the subscribe button right now. I appreciate you.
Like, put yourself out there to be overtly sexual, and you don't give men anything to work for. So you lessen your value. So if you want women to be valuable, then having a lot of sex with men, being just out there, not caring about how you present yourself, that is not going to make you happy. You're actually sadder now. You're not happy. And I think that, women tend, like all species, one thing we know is that we're here to be with each other. You can try to look at it like we're not equal. We provide equal value. And men can do things that women simply can't. You have, like, you...
Can I ask what? What can men do that we can't?
I mean, men build everything. We don't. Men protect us. They fight wars. We don't.
What do they protect us from? Other men?
No, women have always fought in wars. Women have built...
That's by far the dumbest response. What do they protect us from? Other men. Well, duh, you idiot. You can't defend yourself, so somebody got to do it. Because you're going to have suckers on the other side, too. What are you talking about? Like, what, bro, these liberals can be so stupid.
So many things.
Yeah.
So many things.
But in the world, like...
Yeah, so many things. Hold on, let me, in her voice. So many things. So many things. Okay, what? Name them. Name them. Sure, you can name a few. But compared to the amount of things that the men have built and created the infrastructure of the world that we live in today, man, come on, dog. Let's not be disingenuous about this conversation. Let's not be disingenuous about the conversation. LGBTQ. Let's not. Come on, man.
Women also weren't allowed
the buildings, the architecture. Men do all of that. Men are the geniuses. It's way more male geniuses that are female geniuses.
That doesn't answer the question, though. The question was, what can they do, not what have they done?
Well, she's answering the question a little bit, but you're saying like they're more men geniuses. They stopped us from reading. They stopped us from going to school.
Okay.
How long ago was that? How long ago was that? How long ago? You're able to read now, aren't you? Like, what are we talking? How long ago was that? What are you talking about?
First black woman lawyer wasn't allowed to practice law. She got her law degree, but she wasn't allowed to even practice and be a lawyer. They stopped us.
But that's not what modern feminism is about. That we have surpassed that already. You guys can read, you guys can vote, you can do everything you want to do, and you keep making issues. This is why you always talking about the patriarchy and capitalism. You feed it. Okay? Why do you think that you are a feminist in the first place? They wanted you to work. That's what they wanted you to do. They wanted two people in a household to work versus one, right? But you hate capitalism, but you serve it. You would rather serve capitalism than serve your man, the man that was put here to protect you.
Yeah, but does your man make enough money so that you don't have to work? This is my thing. These are, if we're talking about family units, these are two people. They get to decide what happens in their unit. And reality is some men are not going to be able to provide all that they can. Talk about pressure. I feel like feminism was good for men because it kind of relieved them of a little bit.
Because you know why? You know why, Bull City? And I know I ain't supposed to be pulling the comments up. I gotta start holding my word, but I think this is important. This is an important question. why it looks like this is because it goes to show you that women, generally speaking, black women, they are on the side of conservatism. They are more conservative than what we believe. They are more conservative than what we believe, than what we actually see out here. There are a lot more conservative women than we think. And it's these goofballs, and it's all, again, but it goes to show you, it's the liberal white women. It's the liberal white women every single time. They find a reason. They gotta find a reason to complain because they ain't got nothing to offer. So they're gonna blame the patriarchy. They're gonna blame that what they're gonna blame misogyny. They're gonna blame what do they call it? The social constructs, all that shit.
Of pressure.
Lifted everybody up.
Well,
Yeah,
but
really
it's made men so much more depressed than ever. It's made them weaker.
I think they just don't like the fact that now they see, oh, women can be as good as us because now that we're allowed to have all these rights.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where do y'all get this shit from? The men do not listen. Let me break this shit down for some of y'all goofy ass liberals. Men are not in competition with you. Maybe the ones who would try to be like you. If you get my drift, the ones who are part of the ABC community, maybe they're trying to compete with you. But even then, y'all still can't compete with them. So why the fuck would I look down at somebody else who's beneath me in the sense of competition-wise? Why the fuck would I look at you and say, oh shit, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like she making money now, I'm trying to compete with her. No, they ain't stunning you because they got other men they got to compete against. They got 5 other men they gotta compete with, and you think they worry about you? Who are you? Don't nobody care? If anything, they gotta walk on eggshells around you because if they say anything wrong, especially when you come into male spaces, you say anything wrong, say anything out of pocket, all of a sudden it's SA. All of a sudden now you're gonna take me to HR. We gotta watch what we say around you now. But even though you are the one that wants to get into men's spaces. What up, my guy Marcus? So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
We're graduating from college more than they are now.
Why do
in college is an indoctrination camp now. That's why men aren't going. Half of y'all are great. You go to college, then what? Then now you in more debt. What type of degree did you get? I'm guaranteed it ain't no degree that's gonna make you a lot of money when you get out of college. Hence, a lot of them probably sitting in the chairs right now, they probably got a desk job. They probably work in community service somewhere. They probably working at a desk on the phone. Customer service. 9 times out of 10. Some type of assistant. They're not doing anything that's significant, that's pushing the needle forward. You're not doing anything. What are you talking about?
You have to be.
Because we live in their world. And I'm saying because we live in this world with them where they are suppressing us, their bar is up here. If our bar gets lifted, so does theirs.
How the fuck are they suppressing you though? They're the ones that's giving you the opportunities that y'all cry about. They're the ones that say, all right, go ahead, do what you want to do. And you still complaining. You got all the opportunity in the world now. But because we opened that door, guess what? The reason why now you got women talking about, well, I need a man that makes 6 figures a month. I need a man that makes 6 figures and this, that, and the third. I need more. This nigga give you everything. This nigga give you everything plus some, and you still won't go. This just ain't enough. I'm just not happy. I'm just not fulfilled. What do you mean? I don't want to be a stay-at-home wife. I want to go out there and work because I'm my own woman. I'm an individual. What? Got it. You just want to be an individual. You don't want to be in a relationship. You don't want to be in a relationship. You don't have the mindset to be in a relationship because once you understand when you're in a relationship, it ain't about you no more, nigga. We become one. This ain't about individualism. This is not about that. All y'all doing is fucking up the communities now. That's all y'all doing. You ain't got shit else to do. You ain't got shit else to do but sit up here and complain. You ain't got shit else, you ain't offering, you're not offering nothing. You're not pushing society forward.
You're not doing anything. You think everybody can be any gender. You think you can do whatever you want. You walk around here with pink fucking hair. You got piercings all on your lips. You got these fucking stupid ass tattoos on your arms. You got colored fucking hair. Pale as shit. Bro, what are we talking about? I know you can work and be in a relationship. I'm not saying that. But the point is, a lot of these women, they want to do it because they want to feel like an individual. They're not doing it for the relationship, for the betterment of the relationship. They're doing it because they want to feel empowered. I want to feel like a woman. Hear me roar. That's why. Not because, oh baby, let me get this job so that way we can help push ourselves, we can help push the needle forward and get to the financial place where we want to be. They're not doing it because they're doing it for themselves so they can get on TikTok, they can get on Instagram, or they can get on these fucking platforms and then talk about how they are empowered and how the white man has been holding them down and been oppressing them. They want to feel the oppression that black people were feeling years ago, because black people aren't oppressed today. Let me go ahead and clear the air right now. Black people are not oppressed today, but they are trying to use that and they're trying to relate to black people when that ain't the fucking case. Shorty, you ain't oppressed at all. Because if you were oppressed, you would not have those piercings, you would not have those fucking tattoos, and you damn sure wouldn't be coloring your hair pink or purple. And you wouldn't be having this conversation right now if you were truly oppressed. That's a fact. Go try that shit over there in Israel and see what the fuck happens. Go try it over there in Israel and see what the fuck happens. These are first world problems. Just finding something to complain about. But let's continue.
Our bar is lifted, so does theirs.
Why do women need to be less than men?
Yeah.
Women are not less than men. They're different from men. We provide equal value, but we're different. You can't, there's no way that if you got a man that's your age, your height, whatever, he's going and you race him, you're not going to beat him. More times than not, they're going to dust you, which lets you know that you are not equal to them.
In what sport?
Not in that way. You're not equal. They're stronger.
Well, duh, you idiot. That's a point that I'm making, Rick. You idiot. If you understand what's going on, y'all gotta use your ears. Open your ears. Take your emotion out of it, big dog. Take your emotions out of it. Take your emotions out of it. I use that as an example. If the United States was Israel, guess what? We wouldn't be talking about this right now. This wouldn't even be a fucking conversation. But because we live in a first world country and they aren't oppressed like they think that they are, because they aren't oppressed, this is a first world problem. They're creating problems that are not there. Because they ain't got shit else better to do. That's the point that's being made here. But you so in your emotion, oh, we're not in Israel, duh.
They have more logic. You're more emotional. It's just.
To speak to the emotions, if I could maybe chime in here, right? The idea that like men.
And hold on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let it play. Have y'all noticed this? Anytime that shorty on the right, the conservative woman, because she cooking, by the way, every time that she gets to talking, they try to interject and interrupt her. But on the left side, they get to get their whole shit off. Not one of those women interrupted them, but for some reason, they got to interject. They got to interrupt them and not let them get their entire thoughts off. Interesting to me. And no, I'm not using the race thing, but I'm just saying how the difference between somebody who's arguing, somebody who's debating in logic versus somebody who's debating in emotion. A person who's debating in emotion, typically speaking, unless you're just a really good debater and you understand tactics and different things like that, but this is not the case. This is someone who is very emotional. When they say something triggering, they got to snap at it and they got to respond quick instead of just sitting there taking it and listening and then responding after they're done and they land their plane. Now watch.
Are less emotional than women. It's like, well, what's the number one cause of crime? Do you guys know like the actual preceding factors?
Poverty.
It's actually impulsivity, right? ADHD is one of the largest things that is in prison, right? ADHD, impulsivity, right? And drinking, right? Men are highly addictive. They're suiciding at a higher rate than women are. The idea that men aren't emotional is, again, the type of prescriptive perpetuation that is bad for
Anger's
men.
an emotion.
And you see, I'm sorry, but you see how she just lied? The biggest component is poverty. That's the biggest component when it comes to men going to jail. It's poverty. It's the biggest component. But also other contributing factors are social environment, which means weak family structures, lack of community support, social exclusion, discrimination, like racism, so to speak, and poor neighborhood resources increase risk. That's number 2. Number 3, individual and psychological factors, substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, mental health issues, impulsivity, and personal choices driven by greed, anger, and revenge play significant roles. So what she just named is one factor of everything. She dismissed poverty and everything. She didn't say, yep, that's right. She didn't even say poverty. That's how you know she's disingenuous in this fucking conversation. Systematic issues, right? That's number 4. Ineffective law enforcement, biased judicial systems, and lack of investment in social services can exacerbate. But what the fuck did I just say? Exacerbate crime. And the 5th one, opportunity. Some theories suggest the opportunity to commit crime is a key factor, with individuals choosing to exploit situations for personal gain, whether planned or impulsive. You said you go to the other chat to stir shit up? Do it. Kip Chalmers, he said, you're wrong. A man and a woman can do the exact same job and the man will be paid. Nope, you're wrong. No, you are wrong. You are wrong, Kip. No, they cannot. Because the main reason why a lot of women get paid less because a lot of women don't know how to negotiate their goddamn salary. Also, a lot of women like to take off more than men do. What are you talking about? That's dumb. Think about it before you say something. If more women, think about this logic for a second. If women were getting paid less, right? And this is supposed to be a capitalistic country, right? If women getting paid less, don't you think they would hire way more women than they did men? Hence the reason why y'all say that, oh, keep the immigrants here, right? Because they're cheap labor, right? That would make sense, correct? So that logic is invalid. What are you talking about?
That's bad for men and it's bad for women. Men are emotional, right? Women are emotional in different ways. You're right. If you talk to, for example, a trans woman who's gone on estrogen, for example, a lot of negative emotions begin to emerge, more specifically like sadness. The issue is that we all act like logic devoid of emotion is wisdom, but that...
Well, because Shorty, I'm gonna be pausing on this one. Well, because I gotta break her shit down because she said a lot. Well, first of all, Shorty, you gotta understand something. Men do have emotions. We do understand that. But because we have more control of our emotions versus the woman, we think more logically first. We tend to think more logically before we make a decision. We don't make decisions off of emotion. When you try to use the men who go to jail, there are contributing factors to that, which I already explained to you. But men who don't struggle from those components that I named, they are the ones that are typically emotionally mature. They understand that some things may get them hot, may get their stomach warm and burning and want to say some shit, but they understand that they have control over their emotions. And so therefore they aren't going to react in their emotions. They're able to calm themselves down and understand, like, listen, I'm getting pissed off right now, let me chill out. Or I may be getting upset, let me calm down, let me relax first before I say anything or I make a decision. That's the difference. What the fuck she talking about? No clue.
There's not even a historical precedent for this. If you look back to like some of the original writers of wisdom, you talk about the Spartans or the Athenians, they loved their feelings. These Spartan men were so passionate about one another and the things that they fought for that they openly sobbed. That's what original Stoicism is. It's an acknowledgement of the feelings and a drive for action and through it. You take away a rat's ability to feel emotion, it starves to death in like a week because emotion drives all of us. Men are more or less emotional. We're all emotional. The issue is that, yeah, they have testosterone. They're always going to lift things heavier than I am. That's why they're disproportionately represented in labor fields. But the issue is that A, technology has balanced those things, and B, the idea that men are just better, men just by and large, because of X and Y, have a little bit more dimorphism at the ends. They might like perform really high here. They're also disproportionately represented in some of the most disabled individuals, some of the most addicted individuals, some of the most homeless individuals, right? And so this idea that we're like putting like women below men because
I gotta pull this one up. I shouldn't. You know what? I'll read it from the chat. So if men have so much control, then why do women say they would choose? Yeah, because it's a liberal. We are in a world where all of you women, the ones who think like these liberals do, you guys are grouped together. So you think that every man is bad. You think every man is bad. So you hear the story of one woman. You think all men are bad. You group all men together. Your average everyday man is not a bad man. Because if that were the case, there would be a lot more situations happening to women than what we think than what's happening today. There would be a lot more that's happening today. Oh, by the way, also, there are other men that hold these other men accountable as well. Because a lot of these men also understand that there are men who are going to protect women as well. Because it's a stupid analogy to sit here and say that you're going to take the bear over the man. 9 times out of 10, the man is going to protect you from the fucking bear. He's going to protect you from the fucking bear. It's dumb. That's dumb to even think. That's crazy as hell. Every man is different, but when you think about it from a broad spectrum, the way that y'all put this whole, I'll choose the bear over the man, they probably had a traumatic experience by one man, and so they think all men are that way. Again, or they heard it from somebody else. But that's not the case. It's an agenda. It's an agenda to try to emasculate the man. It's an agenda. Why do you think a lot of these women are always talking about misogyny, the patriarchy, misogyny? But this is the very patriarchy. That's protecting y'all goofy asses to let y'all sit out here and talk this shit that y'all are talking today. And that y'all are benefiting from. It's crazy to me. I don't understand that. Y'all just got to find a reason to complain because y'all ain't got shit else better to do because we in a first world country. That's why. It's dumb.
Because like we tend to be kind of, I would argue, more balanced creatures. I think it's disserving both of us.
I don't think that's
but we're not putting women under men.
Yeah.
We always, like I was talking about this earlier, where we're always constantly like obsessing over this hierarchy on, I hear it from feminists a lot, where it's like, oh, well, men aren't better. Like, you know, women are under, like the book, The Second Sex. Like this hasn't come from women who were happy being mothers and anti-feminists, anti-suffragettes. They're not saying that. It's always the feminists that are saying this. So I'm just like, why are y'all so obsessed with trying to be men? Like, why can't you just be good women and enjoy the roles that we're supposed to play, which is a mother, because a man can't fill the mother role. That's why. So I just don't understand what the problem is and why.
Look at statistics, single fathers do a better job than single women. I mean, so if you want to have that, if you want to have that conversation, you can have that too. You can have that conversation too. If they decide, if you look at statistics, if you look at the data, there are men tend to do better. better outcomes with their children than single mothers. Just saying.
You guys are trying to be men.
Wait, is that the only role?
We're not trying to be men.
Wait, no, is that the only role we play though, as mom? That's it?
No, I just threw a role, like, you know what I mean? I just threw a role out there that man cannot fill.
I think I'm the most masculine one here. I'm not trying to be a man. I'm just more questioning like what is being a woman? Like what is that gonna look like for me? And it's not that I think that I'm better than men. It's just like even just saying like men are more logical. It's like I think men have been taught that their emotions are logic. Then it's not that they're more logical. They're not better decision makers. They're not the ones running our households. It's women that are running the households, you know?
I would.
Yeah, that's why households
You see households that are
The women. So this is where the problem lies. This is how a lot of these women actually think. The households typically are being ran because they are running based off of the man's structure. Why? Because they are a united front. That's what they're supposed to be. When a man and a woman is together and they're raising children, they are a united front. So therefore, you can't be raising the child two different ways while in the same home. You both are on the same page when you're raising your children. You already know how you want to raise your child. So even if that man isn't there, he's at work, and the mother is a stay-at-home mom, she already understands the game plan. She already understands how this kid needs to be raised. So there is no confusion there. So no, what is she talking about? It don't work like that. Yeah, these women have ideas that I don't ascribe to. I think shared in all parts of marriage. I got you. Women do not run households. They manage households under the covering of their husbands. Facts. I don't know what she's talking
led
about.
by women and versus single households that are led by men. Men do a better job raising children by themselves.
You don't get to
single households led by women are creating YNs that are in the Black community. Women do that, okay? Men provide structure. They provide discipline. And that's within the woman too.
So men sound like great mothers.
Is anyone on this side passionate about this particular prompt? Would like to.
You gotta find a way to try to emasculate a man. What was that even necessary? Also, men sound like great mothers. What? How does that even make sense? How does that make sense? No, they're just fathers. It just shows you the importance of structure. It shows you the importance of the man. It shows you the importance of when you're raising a child, you need a man in the household. Statistics show when you don't have a man in the household, the likelihood of your kid ending up in jail, all of the things that were named here, right? Economic factors, social environment, individual psychology, psychological factors, system issues, opportunity. A lot of these things can contribute to a single mother household. Because you remember we already talked about what I think it was Kip that mentioned it, how women get paid less, right? Because they don't know how to negotiate for a higher price. And a lot of the times they take off a lot too. So they don't make as much money on paper. But technically speaking, they definitely do get paid about the same, if not a little bit more than men. So a lot of those things take factor. And men tend to have, guess what? More structure. What are we talking about? Oh, I already showed it. I can show it to you right now. Is it fair to say that women only raise? Is it fair to say that to my single women alone? Shit, all of them. Every race that tends to raise a single child. Yep, they raise N-words. Yep, and that's not exclusive to Black people. Yep, white people, Hispanic people, all of them. All of it is inclusive. So yes.
Speak on it.
I did. I wanted to say something with respect to the lesbian because I can't identify. But I think the flaw with feminism is the expectation that we are supposed to be the same at all. I think we understand and we appreciate we are not better or worse. We are not equal. We are equal valued, but we're very different. And I think there's a natural biology that often gets overlooked, especially if you've raised boys. You will see from the womb, they are just different. And I think when we try to put them together and say, anything you can do, I can do better, we're setting ourselves up for failure. And you made a comment earlier about women are better in every way than men. And the question that I would have is,
I didn't say that.
I'm sorry, you said something
I didn't
about...
say anything close to that. I agree with you that I think the sexist, I honestly, the men versus women sex thing, I think it's silly. I think these traits, human traits are human traits. Some were nurtured more in this person, some were nurtured. Like my dad being a stay-at-home dad, he was much better mother than my mother was. I am so sorry, Mom, if you see this. But he just was. He was a better mom than she was. And sometimes that's the case.
So how you just gonna emasculate your father like that? How are you see how you just gonna emasculate your father like that? See, what this shows me right here is this. This is where it kind of goes to the point of, yeah, she had a stay-at-home dad. She had a dad that probably didn't have a backbone. She probably had a dad that allowed her to do whatever she wanted to, but the mom, on the other hand, was trying to hold her ass accountable and put her ass in her place. But father was like, no, don't worry about it, baby girl. I got you. You know, my little princess, baby girl. I'd do anything for you, baby girl. I got you. Don't worry about it. Telling her yes to everything. And so she got what she wanted from her dad. But when it comes to her mom saw the route that she was going. She's like, I don't want you to go that route. No. But she wanted to rebel, which is why she rebels so fucking hard. You can tell she rebels so fucking hard because her mom looks down upon her. It's like, you went in the wrong direction. This is not the way that I wanted you to raise. This is not the person I wanted you to become. But because the father was not on the same page and he didn't have a backbone, this is what you get. This is the result. And this is why he gets emasculated, talking about he was the best mom. The fuck is that? I wish a motherfucker would. I wish a motherfucker would. You hear me? This is subtle. And my thing is, this is subtle disrespect. This is subtle disrespect. Real talk. Some people may say, oh, well, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't, just kind of like the other little pale face blonde over there said the same thing. Well, I guess men are better moms. No, bitch. No. Moms are moms, fathers are fathers. Just why when I hate when women say, oh, well, I gotta be the mama and the father. No, bitch, you can't be the father. You would never be the father. You can't even get close to being the fucking father. You just are the mother. That's all you are, and that's all you can be. You can't be a father. You can't do the things a father can do. Absolutely not. You can't provide the structure that a man can. You can't. Sorry. Don't work like that. Same thing. That's why when you walk around, you see single fathers, they never say, oh man, I gotta be the mom and the dad. No, they just say, I'm the dad, I'm the father. But it's always some extra extreme shit that women gotta play. And then this goofy shit right here, this pink hair motherfucking Pikachu looking bitch, don't sit here and say, oh, well, my father was a better mom than my mom. Oh, sorry, mom. Boy.
Forget the gender role stuff and like these are all human traits. You either are a gentle, nurturing, organized person who wants to take care of a kid, or you're not. And that doesn't go man, woman. That goes person.
Do not listen to this bullshit here. Do not. Please, if you see this video, when you see this video, do not listen to her. Do not listen to her unless you want to look like her. Look at her. Do you want to? Is that somebody you would want your daughter to look like? I'm talking to mothers out here in the world. I'm talking to mothers. I'm talking to fathers. Look at them two individuals right there. Is that what you want your daughter to look like? When they get older, is that what you want them to look like? Do you want them to walk around with color streaks in their hair, pink hair for no fucking reason,
don't want to wear their natural fucking hair at all. They want to paint because they so rebellious in the world, getting all these fucking goofy ass tattoos, then getting piercings on the lips, all this extra shit that she got going on. Do y'all want your daughters to look like that? Or do you want your sons to be sassy? If you do, then listen to them. Then listen to them. If you want your sons to be sassy and you want your kids to look like them, then listen to them. But if you don't, you better not listen to them.
And I will say, not every woman is a mother. Not every woman should be a mother.
And not everyone, right.
But I would just say this, find me the society of women that are doing it by themselves.
I would love to see it.
Exactly, it doesn't exist.
Why though?
Because we are not able to sustain it.
Facts. She cooking. Auntie over there cooking. Let's run that back one more time, just for the sake of it.
That are doing it by themselves.
I would love to see it.
Exactly, it doesn't exist.
Why though?
Because we are not able to sustain it. We live in a safe, civil society because the men have made an agreement amongst themselves to not blow it all up.
Facts. Listen, Auntie out here cooking. Exactly. What's up, Miss Freckles? What's good with you? Exactly. You don't want your children to look like that. And that ain't a shot. And I'm just saying this ain't a shot at anybody, but I'm saying, do you want your daughters to look like that? Is that a great representation of you and how you raise them? No, that is not. What that says to me, what that looks like to me, that looks like victim. That looks like victim mentality. That looks like something Anton Daniels would say, victim Olympics, right? That's exactly what that looks like when I see them type of people. And you can spot them. You can spot them right out the gate. Like, oh, that's a liberal. Right out the gate. It's crazy to me, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But listen, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Listen, make sure you support the channel too, man. Listen, it helps with the platform, helps me to continue to keep growing, help me to continue to keep building as well. Make sure you invest in the platform that you rock with. All right. So what do I want to go to? Don't want to talk about this one. Cause do I want to go into that? All right, so let's see. If I decide to talk about this, well, before I do, let me read the comments real quick. Miss Freckles in the chat. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she being more consistent now. I like it. People really have no tattoos, it seems, today. No impulse control. Yeah, true. You have earrings, dude. Yeah, I do have earrings. What's your point? Do you see tattoos on my neck? Do you see tattoos on my face? See, the thing about me, I can take these out, big dog. Oh, let me show you. I can easily do this. Oh, hold up. It won't come out. There it is. Boom. Hello. Boom. Earrings out. See how simple that was? Is my hair dyed? Do I got blonde streaks in my hair? Do I got purple streaks in my hair? No, I don't. It's easy. OnlyFans #1 influencing youth. Huh? You are firing a 50 cal. You are firing a 50 cal. Good evening. Like, you have on earrings, dude, as if I can't take them hoes out. What you talking about? As if I can't take them hoes out. What you mean? I can't take a tattoo off a neck or a tattoo off an eye, off the face. I can't do that. What you mean? My diamond screw bags are too tiresome and paid for. The 2 times right. I just don't understand how you can judge people's appearance. Yes, I can't judge people's appearance because a lot of times it tells me a lot about them. It tells me a lot about them. And again, when I look at them, before I even started the video, I already knew what was going to be said based off of how they look. And guess what? They proved me right. So yes, a lot of times you need to understand and learn how to profile people beforehand. They just gonna have to prove you wrong. Because I guarantee you, if you see somebody with a Pooh Shiesty mask on and they sagging their goddamn pants, I guarantee you, you're gonna be trying to walk the other way. You're gonna walk on the other side of the sidewalk. You ain't gonna trust it, especially at 10, 11, 12, 1 p.m. at night. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you ain't. Because you're gonna take precaution. Like, nah, I don't listen. You just gonna have to prove me wrong. Because absolutely not. I do it to everybody. I profile you don't, well shit, and see, there you go. You don't do it, and guess what? You part of the reason why a lot of these motherfuckers be getting fucked up. Because you don't have profiling skills. You don't understand how to get yourself out of situation. You don't have situational awareness. You don't have situational awareness. That's a you problem. But see, a person like me, I have situational awareness. I look at people, I say, nah, that don't look right. I'm gonna remove myself from the situation. Because I've seen too many situations where it looked bad, where the situation looked bad, and I remove myself, and then come to find out later some bad shit happened. Yeah, absolutely not. You crazy as hell. You have no problem. Okay, well, hey, listen, great. Listen, I pray that you never have any of those issues. I pray that every person that you don't judge, that you don't profile, never does anything to you. I pray that upon you. I pray that God covers you. I pray. But for me, 100%, I pray on my life. I pray on my home. I pray on the drive to work. And I make sure that I still be vigilant on the people that's around me and the people that's around in my circle, in my environment, in my surroundings. I pay attention to all that shit. Because you would not catch me slipping. You would not about to catch me up here ducking. Man, you crazy. You got me all kinds of fucked up. Absolutely not. So let's go. Shall I talk about this? Do y'all want to talk about the Minnesota walkout, the high school walkout, or do y'all want to get to the money? Which one? I'm gonna let the chat choose. Do y'all want to talk about the Minnesota students walkout, or do y'all want to talk about the money? Or do y'all want to do both? Let me know. Let me know. I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to let me know while I read the chat. Okay, you say Bull City says the money. Billy's got more than the brain. Facts, KD. Kip. I try to deal with people. Okay. Miss Freckles said the money. I have no problems. Blunt said both start somewhere. Okay. I got one who's in the middle. So we got two money. We got one that says start somewhere. It don't matter. Kip says, I try to deal with people honestly. Oh, and brother, I be praying. Hey, I feel you. Hey, as long as you praying, listen, as long as you pray though, you good. You prayed up, you good. That's what's up. All right, so since y'all taking a little long time, so we got a 2-to-1. We got a 2.5. We got a 2.5 says the money, and a 0.5 that says go to the other one. It's my show. But listen though, the chat's live matter though. Y'all are a part of this too. It ain't just me. Y'all are a part of this too. I'm hoping I'm bringing value to y'all. So I'm here as well, but I want to make sure I bring value to y'all too. I just got here. What's the money thing? We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk a little bit about business. You feel me? Your Bible sanctions slavery. Your God is an immoral thug. Even if it exists, it's not worthy of worship. Okay. Do your thing, 000 Cypher. Do your thing, big dog. I can't trust nobody who got a profile with a skull. Just saying. Minnesota first, I guess, then the money. Okay, so we got one that says Minnesota, then the money. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend a little time on the Minnesota, and then we'll finish off with the money. How about that? How does that sound? I just won't spend a lot of time on the school shit. We can do that. So let's go ahead and talk about these Minnesota ICE walkouts with these students, and then like I said, 10-15 minutes, and then that's it. Then we'll go to another topic. All right. So let's go ahead and rock out.
of Zimmerman-Reed, and I'm here representing Duluth and Fridley Public School Districts as well as Education Minnesota. This morning, we filed a federal lawsuit challenging the federal government's decision to remove long-standing safeguards that limited immigration enforcement activity in and around our schools. For decades, federal policy recognized that schools are different, places designed for children, education, and for the stability that families depend on. This case was filed to restore clarity and legal boundaries around schools after those protections were removed without appropriate legal process. After that change, school leaders in Minnesota began seeing the effects quickly. Attendance declined, families' daily routines and the sense of safety that schools depend on were overshadowed by fear. As a result, schools had to adjust their schedules, cancel activities, and redirect time away from teaching and towards managing this uncertainty brought about by this change in policy. What our clients are seeking is a court order to restore clear limits around schools consistent with long-standing policy so that schools can
that'd be dope with Myron.
intended.
That'd be fire.
You'll now hear from school teachers and educators who are closer to this issue.
I gotta hit a
and
certain
its effects
threshold though in
on
order for them to
schools.
work with me though.
I'll
I
hand it
already know
over
what
to
that's like.
Monica Byron.
I gotta hit a certain threshold, so y'all gotta blow me up. Y'all gotta share my shit.
Good afternoon,
Y'all gotta share it,
and thank
create
you so
clips and
much for
shorts,
coming.
repost. Y'all gotta do
I'm
all
a
that
teacher on leave from the
in order for it to
Richfield
blow
Public
up
Schools, serving
fast.
as president of Education Minnesota. All the groups here today bring their own perspective to this lawsuit. I, of course, think like a teacher. The Code of Ethics for Minnesota educators states, quote, "A teacher shall make reasonable effort to protect the student from conditions harmful to health and safety," unquote. Although it pains me to say this, one of the greatest threats to the health and
Facts.
safety of Minnesota's school-age children right now
Thanks, Katie.
are the ICE and Border Patrol agents in our state. The ICE presence at and near Minnesota schools is causing lockdowns, emptying schools, and traumatizing children every day. Over the past month, we've seen
How are they? That's what I'm saying. How is it traumatizing children? How? When they supposed to be focusing and learning, they supposed to be in school learning. What do you mean they're traumatizing? No. Listen, bro. There's always this thing. Like, listen, you bring them into wherever course. If you got the school gym or whatever, you bring all the students into the gym and let them know what is going on. The principal, vice principal, whoever is going to be the one that's going to talk, you let them know what's going on and say, hey, don't worry about what's going on outside. Our main focus is making sure that we get our studies done, making sure that we are teaching, doing what we're supposed to do to help you learn and help you grow and build your minds. That's our focus here. We're not focused on what's going on outside of these doors. Don't worry about what's going on outside these doors. You focus on the things that you need to focus on. Because the last thing I need to worry about is now that some shit popping off and your kid ain't learning because they too focused on what the fuck ICE doing in protesters and shit. These teachers, I real talk. They need to start bringing these hard neck teachers back. Not these soft, not these Miss Rachel ass teachers. No, we need them hard neck teachers back. The ones that's gonna cuss you right back out. Or the ones that got that look. The ones that be giving you this look. The ones that be having this look right here. Them right there. When they teaching you, they on the chalkboard. They on the chalkboard talking shit. They hear that talk. They hit you with that joint right there. Hey, dog, listen, you better straighten up. You better straighten up. You better tighten up. Miss Williams ain't playing with you. Miss Studebaker not fucking with you. Miss Studebaker ain't playing. She said, I'm here for you here to learn. I don't care about what's going on out there. You here to learn. And in my class, You gonna learn today. I need teachers coming in. I need teachers right at the gate. Come in, give me your phone. Boom. Because I remember when I went to private, when I was at my high school, in private school, I had this one teacher, dog. She wasn't no joke. Kid you not. White lady. Older lady, too. I think she was like, I think her name was Miss Henderson. I think was it Miss Henderson? Or Miss Finkley? It was one of the motherfuckers. We walked through the door. Listen, put your phones in the basket. No, but what if my mom? Put your phones in your basket. She said, who is Von Miller? Listen, she would say, put your phones in your basket. But my mom, put your phones in your basket, because if your parent really needs you, they gonna call the school and the school gonna call you to the office. If they really needed you, they would call the office or they gonna come up to the school if they really need you. Put your phone in the basket. And then if they're gonna hit you with one of these right here. Right at the door, as soon as you walked in. Oh, hey, Miss Stinson. Hold on, let me open it real quick. Let me open it real quick. I'll hit you with that. Listen, you got the box right here. You got the box right here. Oh, hey, Miss Stinson. Hey, now, go on, put it in there. Put it in the box. Don't play with me now. Put it in the box. Put it in the box. Miss Stinson, but boy, don't play.
Many examples of students, educators, and our communities being hurt by the conduct of immigration agents near or on our schools. Spraying chemical irritants at high school students during dismissal time.
That'll be my new look for the rest of the
Questioning
night.
students about their immigration status for no clear reason other than their skin color. And using a 5-year-old returning home from preschool as bait to try to arrest his parents. These actions are not only shocking, they're unlawful. They are not only disturbing, they are disrupting the safe spaces educators create for our students. Our students can't learn, our educators can't teach, and when there are masked, armed agents outside of classroom windows, sometimes for days and days, that leaves our students and educators traumatized. Thousands of students have missed weeks of school, and their absences leave a hole in our communities. The really young students that I taught,
They seem soft. All these teachers seem mad.
He ought to marry soft.
Soft.
Protesting is not a crime. We will say it every time. Protesting is not a crime. Ice out.
I'm really angry. I'm angry and I'm sad like all of the time. I'm a university student. I can't focus on my classes. I have a lot of friends who are really scared to go outside right now, regardless of their citizenship status.
A lot of folks just frankly don't feel safe going outside right now, which is absolutely important. So what we're trying to do, and what I'm really trying to help with, is getting supplies like groceries, winter clothing.
What the fuck you got going on, Benjamin Franklin? The fuck is up with those sideburns, bro?
That kind of stuff. Otherwise, we've been involved in this ice patrols, which is very basically where people will walk around and report instances of ice sightings that they see on campus.
We lost another person in the city to the hands of murderous ICE agents.
I think what's important is that we keep showing up and showing everyone that we're not going to stop, and there's only one way this ends, and that's with ICE leaving. The Twin Cities belong to us, it doesn't belong to them, and together we're going to take it back.
We will not stop.
Hey, Ron. God damn it. D-Nice. You mean Denise?
say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. And I ain't playing,
nigga. But in all seriousness though, bro, this shit is crazy. You talking about you can't focus on your studies. Bullshit. You can't focus on your studies. That's, man, you lying to me. You lying to me. There's no talking about you can't focus on your studies. Yes, you can. You just trying to be a part of a group. You're trying to be a part of the go along, get along game. And so you want to be a part of something. You want to be a part of a crew because you're trying to get some box. Because you see the little cutie over there. And I'm like, man, listen, all I got to do is act like I'm protest. I really don't care about that shit for real. I'm just trying to get some box. I got time for that shit, bro. I'm trying to get my studies. Because the last thing I want to hear is my parents talking about why in the hell are you failing? Why are you failing history class? Oh, shit. Because the teacher, I can't really understand what she talking about, man. Because, like, she give us so much work, man. And then when we got the study guide, she then changed up the whole test that we don't even know what the hell we were studying for. It's like, nah, nigga. Nah. The teacher already told you every quiz that you take is gonna go towards your final grade. You was failing each and every test because you were too busy out there talking about protesting and you was trying to get some box. You weren't focusing on your activities, you weren't focusing on your work, your academia. That's on you. Because you out here trying to chase some boost. You out here trying to chase some buns. It's your fault. Nope. I wish a motherfucker would. They need to start hiring the teachers with backbones back. Start hiring the ugly teachers. Start hiring the teachers that don't play no games. Shit. I'm almost at the point where I'm like, listen, start hiring these teachers back who got paddles, who be spanking the children when they out of pocket. Nigga, bring all that shit back. Let's be 110% clear. Bring all that shit back, man. I remember my middle school teacher. She didn't play no games. Her name was Miss Morales. May she rest in peace, man, because her goofy ass husband offed her. You know what I'm saying? I think I was in 8th grade when it happened. One of my favorite teachers, bro. She didn't play no games. Like when I say didn't play no games, she didn't play no games. All the bad kids and shit, nigga, she was spanking them behind the goddamn building. She was like, "Oh, you want to act up in class, huh? You want to?" Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull her on real quick. Let me see. Where she at? Nah, where is that? Well, what was that? What was that school? 2011? No, 2001. They ain't got that shit? Let me see, 2002. 2003. Dang. They ain't got her name. They ain't pulling her up. Oh well. But she ended up being unalived by her husband, man. She ended up being unalived by her husband, but she didn't play no games, dog. She didn't play no games, right? She was out there paddling. Folks. All the bad kids, man. I remember I got a paddle one time because I was out there fucking around. I was bullshitting with some of the kids who was in the clowning class while she was trying to teach. And she called me. And she was like, so you wanna play, you wanna be like them, huh? Like, I'm like, nah, Miss Morales, it ain't even like that. We were just joking. No. You see, I was over here teaching. And you wanna be act crazy just like the rest of them. So guess what? All three of y'all, let's go outside. She told the class, hey, read pages X through Z. Well, read pages X, Y, and Z. And we'll be right back. Man, she took all three of us out there. Nigga, she had us on the wall. Nigga had us on the wall like this. Put your hands up on the wall. Had this big ass paddle too, man. That paddle about this motherfucking big. That bitch had holes in it. So when you swing, that bitch said, whoo. It was a wood paddle too. Man, she gave every last one of us 5 strikes a piece. That shit hurt. Because we had uniforms down south. So we always had to wear uniforms. We didn't wear regular clothes, we had uniforms. Talk about tearing them khaki pants up. Fuck. Damn. That shit hurt. Ms. Morales didn't play no games, bro. She did not play no games. So this one, so in this middle school, this was a public school. This was a public school. So I didn't go to private school until my sophomore year of high school. That's when I went to private school. And then everything from there, everything on up all the way to college, I went to private school. But yeah, so elementary all the way up to my freshman year of high school, I went to public school. That shit's crazy. I said, I got about 7 years out of a community college. I went for fun, messed around, and got a degree. Facts. They don't pay enough for good teachers with backbone. They get the leftovers. True. You never were in school when they paddled you too young, pal. Shit, me. You lying to me. You lying to me. Ms. Morales didn't play no games. She was the only teacher, but that's the thing though, Kil. She was the only teacher that did it though. She was the only teacher that did it because she didn't play no games. Like she was one of the big dogs on the campus. Like everybody respected her. The 7th grade teachers, 8th grade teachers, all the students, they respected her because she did not play no games, bro. She was one of the white women. She had the call your manager haircuts. She had that bob cut. But nigga, she didn't play no games. She was serious. And she didn't, and the thing is, she was a real advocate for black students, and she was a real advocate for it. And she was like, she didn't want to see the black kids, who didn't get their education. So she was big on education. She's like, listen, you out here fucking around in school, you doing all this extra shit, but I need you to focus, man. You worried about what's going on in the street, you out here fucking worried about these girls. Get your education, focus on your books. And if you don't, I got the paddle to kind of help you out, to straighten you out. She ain't playing no games, bro. He said, I raised my kids in the deep South, paddle in the deep South. Oh, where at in the deep South? I'm from Alabama. Where at in the deep South? Mississippi or Florida? Was outlawed when my kids were coming up, and they're all 40 and 35. Well, I'm 35. So damn, why your parents wait so long to take out a public school? You went to a private school for that basketball education. No, so I'll give you a quick story before we dive into the money. So I'll give you a quick story. So what ended up happening was, for those of y'all who may not know, what I'm saying, I went to Shaw High School in Mobile, Alabama. I'm pretty sure y'all probably know. Shaw High School in Alabama my freshman year, which I don't even think it's a school anymore, right? So I was gonna follow in my brother's footsteps because I got 2 older brothers. And so my middle brother, he was playing in the varsity at the same school. And so I was projected to come behind him to be the point guard for the varsity team. But one of my good friends that I've known since childhood, he hit me up. He just called me on a random day. He was like, hey bro, like, hey man, how you liking Shaw High School? I said, Shaw High School is cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm projected to be on the varsity next year. I'm already playing. I said, because mind you, this is when they had freshman, JV, and varsity. I was a freshman playing JV at the time, so that was a big deal. It was like, oh shit, it's a freshman. He ain't even playing freshman. He playing JV right now, so doing my thing, right? And so he was like, oh, okay. Well, listen, bro, you can come over here where I'm at, bro. I'm telling you, you can come over here. You can start right now. Really? He's like, but you got to play 2 sports. You can't just play one. You got to play 2 sports. I'm like, shit. Now, mind you, growing up, I played baseball, football, and basketball. So those were my sports that I played coming up. And so, and then even in middle school, I played basketball and I played football. And so he was like, well, you got to play 2 sports. I'm like, damn, I ain't trying to play 2 sports. But he's like, look, you got to. And that's the only way you're going to be able to get the scholarship to come to the school. I was like, all right. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, what's your GPA? I was like, my GPA is good. I was like, I got like a 3.5. We good. It's like, all right. So talked to my parents about it. And they was like, you want to go to a private school? Why you want to go to a private school? I said, well, it opens the door for me, being in public school, it's not guaranteed that I might be on the varsity team, but it ain't guaranteed that I'm gonna start. So I don't know. He's like, but I was talking to my guy, and he was saying that, listen, you come over here, you can start immediately. And so we went over to the school, we did a walk around, talked with the coach and everything. And he was like, listen, man, Eric he told me a lot about you. Shout out to my guy. He told me a lot about you. He told me you're really good. And, I think we want to have you over here. It's like, all right, cool. Dog, I went over there. And mind you, this was a totally different environment. This is where everything was predominantly white. It was I could probably count 7 people that were black, not including myself. 7 people that were black over at this school, right? Smaller school. Went over there. I walked in the gym. Now this is crazy story. I went there, walked in the gym. I said, listen, man, my jersey gonna get retired here. Watch. So that following year, end up playing. I started my freshman year, started playing, started doing numbers, started putting up numbers, like I was supposed to do. And then that following year, I ended up playing football too. So I played football and basketball the same year. I played quarterback in high school and played quarterback, and then I played basketball. And then second year did my thing, led my high school, led my football team to the playoffs. I think we lost, what was it, the first or second round? We lost in the first round, second round, one of them. But led them as a QB, led them to the playoffs. But we lost that bitch. Then same thing happened with basketball. We led to the playoffs, lost it to Calhoun. That shit was crazy. Them boys was crazy athletic. That shit was wild. Then my senior year, I ended up not playing because I was like, listen, I don't want to get injured. Because I ended up getting injured during spring of my junior year playing football. I fucked up my ankle really bad, but I still end up starting again, end up healing. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that again because now next year is my senior year. So didn't play my senior year. They was cool with it. And then still did my thing on the court. That senior year, ended up getting my jersey retired at the school, which was pretty dope because I broke a lot of records that were already set. I broke a lot of records over there. And then, they ended up going to Mississippi College my freshman year, pretty much flunked out, had to come back to JUCO to get my grades back up because that's a whole nother story for a different day. But flunked out my freshman year, went back to JUCO, got my grades back up, focused on my grades, played ball at the JUCO. And then that's when I went back to a university and finished out school. So you said you're his clone cousin? Chill out. Chill out. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the basis of the story and how that went. So everything after my sophomore year, it was all private school. It was all private school. So yeah, that's how that went. Oh, that is how that went. Good times though. It's all good times. All right, so
60.
I want to go ahead and get into the money. let's go ahead and dive in because I know y'all waiting on the money. You know what I'm saying? But I had to get a little quick little story. Let's talk about my favorite person to talk about when we talk about business. I honestly think she's dope, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I think she's dope as hell. And there's not many, and it's gonna sound crazy, there's not many women that I actually listen to a lot in regards to when we talk about business, because a lot of them just be on some bullshit. But Shorty here, she be on it. And Cody Sanchez, she be on top of her shit. And so she's talking about 7 businesses with shockingly high failure rates. So we're gonna talk about these type of businesses. All right. So make sure you lock in, make sure you tap in. Listen, make sure y'all support the channel too. I only got 1 super chat. I'm gonna need y'all to get these super chats up, because if y'all really fucking with me, y'all would have been super chatting right now. Y'all playing. Real talk. Y'all playing with me right now. But let's go ahead and get into it.
6% of entrepreneurs will never start a business because they're too scared of failing. How do you give yourself the highest likelihood of succeeding in a business? You follow the data. In this video, we're going to break down for you the businesses with the highest failure rate and the lowest failure rate, so you can pick one where you can win. Gyms, not one of my favorite businesses. You want to know why? 80% of them fail within the first year, 81% to be precise. Now, the cool part about gyms is you typically don't need all of this. You don't need a giant building. You don't need a huge location that's prime. You could have a little CrossFit gym with a box and start it with a couple $100K and some friends, which is what a lot of people do. Here's the problem with gym businesses. Typically, the owners start a gym business as a hobby, right? They like to work out, so they want to put their name on the building, and that's what they do. Which means that they neglect the finances, they don't have a marketing plan, they do things custom, they don't have standard pricing, they don't have third-party products that they take a cut on and sell, and they don't do high margin, which is things like subscriptions and also personalized training at a really expensive level. One of the secrets to wealth in general is if you want to get rich, sell things to rich people because they pay more. Gyms are a really hard business to do that. Now, there are models that work. Gold's been around forever. It's a franchise. And there's basically 2 ways you can do a gym. You can have a Gold's gym, and you can have a Planet Fitness, where they kind of expect you to subscribe and then really never come. Or you can have an Equinox, where they expect you to come, but you're gonna pay for it. That's the difference between like $10 a month and $200 or $300 a month. Regardless, I think—
Or a Lifetime Fitness. Or a Lifetime Fitness, because Lifetime Fitness, they pretty dope. They got a lot of shit in there too. And there are certain areas, especially in the Biltmore area out here in Arizona, you can find a lot of celebrities in there. You can find a lot of successful people, a lot of rich people in there. So if you are in the Arizona area and you want to tap in and rub shoulders with some people who are high earners, make a lot of money, Lifetime Fitness in the Biltmore area, that's the way to go.
just go get swole when you go to the gym. And if you want to make your bank account swole, pick another business. ATMs. I get pitched this business all the time because it seems easy,
All right, Katie, I appreciate
and
you.
it might not take that much money to start. Let me tell you why I don't like this business, because of the math. Average 3 to 5 transactions a day of $80 to $100. The average
Appreciate you,
transaction
Katie. I'll
size.
read that in a minute.
You get 1 to 2% of it,
Yeah,
which
Katie,
means you
I'm
make
in
about
Arizona.
$2.40 to $15 a day per machine. You got to drive around and pick up the cash in all of these on at least a couple day basis. Otherwise, they get stolen. This one actually isn't located here anymore. I bet you could guess why if you pan around this area.
Oh, where
so
you
the
at?
money just
Oh,
doesn't
shit.
add up.
Hold up.
The other problem is for a machine, the machines themselves.
Oh shit, KD. Okay. Listen. Let me go ahead and plug my Patreon in real quick, because shout out to my guy JB, and shout out to my guy Marcus Courtney, shout out to Ashley, shout out to my guy Macaroni Tony. So if you ain't tapped into the Patreon, right? We are building to a certain point to where, you know, we're gonna end up hosting our first meetup. So if you gonna want to be a part of that, you're gonna meet your boy, get to kick it with your boy. You definitely want to tap into the Patreon. But there's other things as well that we're teaching and we're learning, we're building and growing in there as well. So, but definitely tap into the Patreon, bro. Link is in the description, and I think I pinned it in the comments as well. Yep, sure did.
Are pretty expensive. They cost 7 years on average, from you giving them the money for the machine to you paying it all back with the revenue and profits of the business. The other reason is, let's think about it this way. Anybody got cash on them in this group? I know the answer to that, and that's no, except maybe Samuel. But most people these days are not carrying cash around. So we're having a declining user base with really tiny margins and a lot of logistics. Tough business. The second way that people make money on ATMs is they charge a surcharge, right? So you take a percentage of the transaction cost, 1 to 2 to 5%, and then you might add a surcharge, which is like $2 to $5 per transaction. So that is where you could make your meatier transaction. But again, if you're only doing 3 to 5 transactions today at a normal location, that's not going to be enough. Now, how could this business work? If you're outside of a cannabis store where they will only take cash, this could work. If you're outside of a bar where they require a ton of cash, this business could work. But then you're going to have to pay more for rent on that location also. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, I think you need 50 to 100 ATMs to make enough profit for it to be worthwhile as a full-time gig. You want to have a little side hustle, you want to learn the game of business, you want to learn your P&L, you want to start small, somebody else can fund you or you can lease the ATMs, then we're good to go. Why I would never buy a dry cleaning business or why Cody Sanchez hates dry cleaners. Let me tell you 2 reasons. The first one is, look at this graph. We've basically seen the number of establishments plunge, meaning people are using them a lot less. Probably has to do with the fact that suits are going out, more people are working from remote, and less things that need to be dry cleaned are part of our everyday life. The second reason is one word, and it's called remediation. So if you go on the internet right now, you'll see like hundreds of dry cleaners selling for $100,000 to $200,000, and you can often sell or finance them. So why wouldn't I like those? It's because I was looking up the math for you guys. If you use a dry cleaner the old way, there can be a lot of toxicity right here underneath our feet. That needs to be cleaned up by whoever owns the business. It's called remediation. How much does that cost is fascinating. The EPA right now thinks that 75% of the dry cleaners in the US are contaminated, the soil underneath them is, and that they have 650 gallons of hazardous waste that they need to clean up. But how much does the hazardous waste cleanup cost? Anywhere from, it could be $5 to hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on how deep it is and in what states.
Well, shit. Instead of doing the dry cleaning shit, you should start the business of the one who cleaned up the mess underneath. You can make a killing. You can make a killing. Think about it. If you got 2 or 3 jobs going on at the same time, and you say you can make anywhere between $5 to $100K, oh, you finna be doing crazy work. A lot of liability in the dry cleaning business because of chemicals. If you own the land, you can poison the land. Yep. She on top of it.
City, etc. I don't want to buy a business that's only making $100,000 or $200,000 or run one that's only making that much, and then I got to pay for somebody to come clean up all this toxicity. Plus, aren't we all green these days? Isn't that where we're going?
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you to dry cleaners that exist, but also be careful about what's underneath your feet. Hotels. These are not businesses. This is real estate masquerading as a business. Let me tell you why the data says these businesses.
Because hotels are easily disrupted. That's why. That's one of the main reasons why they're easily disrupted. Especially when some shit pop off, you know what I'm saying? For the bag chasers, y'all understand that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AD. But it's easily disrupted. That's one. But I'm pretty sure she's gonna break it down a little bit more too.
This are really tough. Look at these margin numbers. So on average, you make $94,000 a year, but the average expense for a hotel is $96,000 a year. So they're losing 2%. Why is that okay? Because they use the real estate depreciation, kind of a fancy word to say that they use the ability to decrease their taxes in order for these things to become actually profitable. So they're not even profitable unless you're messing around with the IRS. Also, I don't know about you, but I don't want to have a business where somebody can call me at 2 in the morning and yell at me and expect service right away. 24/7 support is what you have when you have a hotel business. There's enough going wrong in business for you to wake up at 8, have a cup of coffee, and then deal with it. I think that's sufficient. The other thing is, this is a complex business because you see we're at one right now. And if you were to look around, you basically see a bunch of people behind me are doing landscaping, right? A bunch of people behind me are redoing the bar over here. It's complex. It requires 24/7 support and a ton of humans to run this business. Not to mention, look at what's happening to this industry. So back in the day, there were 20 major hotel companies in the 2000s. Now there are only 10. So we've consolidated the industry, and those 10 own 65% of the market. So if you want to get into hotels and be independent like this lady is, she's a legend into hotels, by the way, it's really hard. And so you have to end up going franchising. Most 67% of all hotels are franchised hotels. Here's the problem with that. They take a ton of your revenue and they leave you with something like 2 to 7% total revenue at the end for you to run the business. Since these contracts run 10 to 15 years on average, you better make sure that that franchise is one you want to stick with for a while. This hotel's amazing. The grounds are beautiful, but the problem with a hotel like this is, can you imagine what it costs to run this thing nonstop?
Sorry.
I think we've been kicked out of like, what, 17 businesses now? Amazon FBA, the other type of business that is my least favorite of all of them. Let me tell you why. Although I have a bunch of friends that made money, and you have all these young YouTubers all over the internet telling you how much money you can make doing Fulfilled by Amazon and how easy it is and how seamless it is, the truth of the matter is the math doesn't math. One, because if there is one platform that has more risk to, one, being your biggest competitor, which Amazon does, two, allowing a bunch of Chinese knockoffs to come compete with you, and three, actually giving your data to both your competitors and then taking your data about what sells and using it for their own, it's Amazon. Huge platform risk. The second reason why I don't like Fulfilled by Amazon businesses is you actually can't touch your customers. How wild is that? You buy from my store on Amazon and I send to your house my product, pens, let's say. I cannot get your contact information or your address. And oh, by the way, I'm not even allowed to put something in the packaging that asks for you to write a review or that asks for you to get more information. You're completely divorced from your customers, which is one of the most dangerous things that you can do in business overall. Let's get into the math really quickly. We can actually—
Yeah, I've never been a fan of it. I've tried the FBA shit. I really have. I tried to go through Alibaba and do all that, find the products are cheap. And bro, man, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Because even when you do a TikTok shop, that's what a lot of them are doing too. They use TikTok shop. It's like so many third parties that you're using. I'm good, bro. I need something that's lucrative, something that I can scale, something that requires minimal, that requires me not to have to put all of my time and effort into it. My goal is to be an absentee owner. That's my goal. Multiple businesses, absentee owner. 1,000%. 1,000%. Until I get to a point where I'm an absentee owner, then I can remove myself from the 9 to 5. And now I have a little bit more time on my hands to where I can focus on other businesses that may require a little bit more time from me. That's where I'm at with it. I'm actually, matter of fact, listen, I want to make sure that y'all know that I ain't just talking just to be talking, right? I want y'all to understand. I'm not just talking just to be talking. I'm actually out here putting in the work. Listen, I need y'all to understand. I'm actually out here putting in the work. I wish I could really see that. Can y'all see that? Y'all can't see that, can you? Let me see something. Like your boy actually putting in the work out here. We out here working, you feel me? We out here doing things, you feel me? So I ain't just talking. I ain't just out here just talking. I'm actually doing the work. I'm actually putting my toe in the water. So what it is just to give you context. So I went on to Biz by Sale, right? And I'm looking for businesses that's actually for sale right now. So just to get my foot in the door, just to kind of dip my toe in the water type shit, and looking at businesses that I might be interested in or that I may have a background in. That way it can just be kind of easy for me to transition into or just start learning in. But how I'm going about it is I'm going in it with seller financing. I'm trying to put zero down starting out, and then I can pay them a percentage from the profits that's already being cash flowed, pay them a percentage over time. That's where I'm at. And so I'm talking with a guy right now who we're actually trying to make something happen. So that's what we got.
See how many Amazon sellers make money or not. Fast forward through what all these numbers mean, only 1% of sellers succeed with an annual salary of around $100,000 to $250,000, while 27% achieve about $5,000 in total sales. Here's all the numbers for you. Now, a lot of people can be break even inside of a year because they don't have all the crazy upfront costs you get with a business, but your ability.
You say when you get in the bobblehead look. Hold on. You want to see a one that I had got when I was doing other stuff? Hold on, give me a second. Let me show you something real quick. Trying to grab. Let me do something real quick. You want to see a bobblehead? That's funny. Hold on, give me a second. Funny. So this is when I had the little mini fro. This is when I had the little mini fro. When I had the mini fro, dog. I think I gotta get another one because I got a new look. I gotta get another one. I got a new look.
To make six-figure income, tough. So I suppose you could have some fun. You could experiment with all the 27-year-olds on YouTube talking about Fulfilled by Amazon, but the likelihood that it's going to make you hundreds of thousands of dollars is really quite slim. Furthermore, I'm really concerned about the fact that you put in all this time and effort and work, and then one thing changes on the algorithm and you're no longer listed at the top. Oh, and not to mention, the last time that I was looking at one of our businesses that had a percentage of their revenue from Amazon, they started getting competitors who actually gave fake reviews and bought their product in order to tank their rankings, because if you have one negative review on average, you need 10 to 20 positive reviews to offset it. That business eviscerated. So be very careful. We like Jeff Bezos. It's great for the world. 24-hour delivery. Incredible.
Hold on, what'd you say? You said you buy territory with grocery stores. Buy territory with, you mean buy land, right? Stores on your route. New construction of grocery stores in your territory, you get that. You get that store. That's how you, okay.
For our bottom line, probably not. Retail stores are the next one I wouldn't buy.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't buy
incredibly
retail.
High failure rates. Look at this. The other reason is, if you think about it, these are really high rent locations, meaning that it's expensive to just even have your feet on the ground here. Second is the user base is declining. What do you mean? Well, more and more we shop online, Amazon and at e-commerce, as opposed to in person. So the graph goes like this, which is usually not a great tell in a business that you're starting. The other reason is they have something called negative float, which sounds like kind of maybe technical, but negative float, all that means is that you pay money upfront for clothes, maybe a season or two ahead, and you only get money when somebody buys it eventually after waiting for it to be shipped to you and then hoping that you sell to somebody else. It's also really hard to determine what inventory should look like. That's why retail freaks me out. I call this a cash suck business, not a cash flow business. And while I'm really happy to window shop, I think if you just need that little retail store to sell Live, Laugh, Love t-shirts, maybe do it as a loss leader. That is a business that you have a ton of money and you don't want to make any more. And as the saying goes with vineyards, the same goes with retail, which is if you want to make $1 million with a retail store, start with 3 million. This statistic is wild. As of April 2023, there were 8 big retailers that went completely bankrupt, Bed Bath & Beyond included. In 2022, there were 10 retailers in the entire year. This is not a good trajectory. The other one that freaks me out is the percentage rate of businesses that still operate after the first 4 years in business in the retail industry is less than 47% after the first year's 90% failure rate. Whew. No mathematician, but that don't look good. Restaurants, really tough business to win in. Actually, one of my least favorite ones, as evidenced by one failed right behind us right now. Look at all of this real estate that is now empty and how expensive it had to be to get started. The average small business in the US sells for somewhere around $800,000, but the average restaurant sells for $198,000. Why? Because they're really hard to win at over the long term. In fact, I was looking up some stats for you guys. 60% fail in year 1, 80% in 4 years. Huge competition. In fact, scroll down this street to see what they're working with. We've got Juiceland, we've got Chipotle, we've got something at the end, we've got a Hot Dottie over here, and we've got 3 more restaurants right next to them. So why do restaurants fail? Lots of reasons. One is they run out of cash because they don't have enough money up front. The average build of a restaurant's anywhere from $200,000 to $1 million to build out. That's a lot of quan. Second is they have to have a lot of money to keep running, both for wages for employees, but more than anything for the food that they need to sell you. Plus, there's this little word called
You say you
spoilage,
laughing,
which is
that was not
awful,
funny?
which basically means that food can't last forever like a t-shirt can. And so
She says she's laughing, it wasn't funny. So the large retailers have a leg up on small ones because the big stores like Walmart and Target only do co-signing. They don't pay their vendors until it sells at the register. Oh, didn't know that. This is Miss Freckles. This is I knew y'all were gonna like it.
got to pay for it over time. One of the other big things that nobody thinks about with restaurants is it's really hard to keep a consumer with you over time. And often they don't give you their contact information. They just wipe a credit card. So as opposed to an online business where you can email them, tell them to come back, a restaurant, you can't really do anything unless you're really smart about getting referrals.
Here's one thing that I'm also learning too when it comes to these type of things, and why a lot of these companies aren't selling, because it's not geared towards the individual. It's not helping a person go from point A to point B. Meaning, how does this improve my life? How does this improve my well-being? How does this take me from this point of my life to this point of my life? And so this is why these companies that she's already mentioned, that's why a lot of them don't work. They're fair weather. There's so many different restaurants you can go to. There's so many different clothes that you can buy. You can buy clothes from Amazon. There's so many people that have online businesses, right? They're selling clothes. So you're not gonna be subject to just one thing. I got a whole bunch of pair of shoes over here. I got Nikes, I got New Balance, I got Jordans. Hell, what else? Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. I got Nikes, Jordans, one pair of New Balance, but everything Nike. But then I got a whole bunch of hats over here too. And I bought them. I didn't buy them from all the same places. I bought them from different places, right? So you're not subject to these things. And these shoes aren't taking me from point A to point B. They're just a style thing. I just like shoes. There was a horrible fallout. The window shaking my head. I know she was pissed for. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I would have laughed too. I don't give a fuck how bad they would have been. I would have laughed. That's a laugh at me. Dated a girl for years that worked for BF Corp, which sold to Walmart and Target. Damn. Okay.
If you have to start a restaurant, then you might want to start one like this. They have lower failure rates as fast food joints. This one here, which is called a full service restaurant, a lot more expensive to run, much higher failure rate. That is a lower failure rate. Also, I do own some restaurants, or at least parts of them. It doesn't mean you can't make money in these things. It's just what's the highest likelihood to fail and how good of an operator do you have to be? I own part of a restaurant called The Well. It's awesome, but they've also got these pop-up stores, and these things are the real part that makes money. Trucking, transportation. This is called last mile delivery, and this area is booming. In fact, the success...
I got a background in transportation. We might have something.
Success rate is about 76.4% to do this. Now, obviously, you're not going to start your own FedEx or stand in the middle of the street because that's annoying. And now we're going to get on influencers in the water.
Give me a second, y'all. Let me pause real quick. Give me a second. We back.
Wild. But what you can do is there's a bunch of trucking companies where you can own routes like this for UPS trucks, for instance, and you can also do last mile delivery for local stores. This business is booming. Why? Because you animals won't stop ordering things on Amazon. Me either. In fact, here's a last mile truck right here. See, guys, there's another one. That's a prime last mile delivery truck.
Transportation is one of those things that's going to be hard to disrupt. You're always gonna need transportation, whether you gotta transport food, transport clothes, transport products, metals, anything. Transportation is a huge business that you can dive into, whether if you're just starting out small. Listen, even if you got a pickup truck, right? I have a pickup truck, right? You can start your business off by just transporting small products from one business to the other. You can start that as a small business, then you can ramp up from there. And you can make a killing just using your vehicle as that transportation vehicle until you just say, you know what? I want to be able to deliver to multiple places at one time. All right, so now you've made enough money because you can only deliver only so much, and that's only so much that your vehicle can take. So it's like, all right, I can deliver to two businesses with my truck, right? And I get paid X amount of dollars, and I get these routes, let's just say twice a week, right? And I get paid $3,000 per transportation, because they do actually pay, right? You got a contract of it every week. I gotta transport this thing from point A to point B on every Tuesday and every Thursday, and per shipment is $3,000, so that's $6,000 a week. I'm just making up numbers, right? So now you say, listen, I'm gonna do this for a few months until I really truly understand the business, understand the back end, understand the logistics of it, and just understand how to operate it as a business. So now that I've made enough money, boom, I can go and purchase a bigger truck. Or I can just say, fuck it, I'm gonna go do a box truck. Because now instead of me being able to just transport products to 2 places, now I can do 6 to 8 places now. Now we cooking with grease, and now I can say, boom, each one is $3,000 per shipment. Just making up numbers here. $3,000 per shipment. I'm making the killing. And that can be anything. So you can be transporting metals, you can be transporting pharmaceuticals, you can be transporting clothing materials, car parts, whatever it is. There's so many things that need to be transported. You can make a killing off of it. Or you can just niche it down and say, listen, I'm only going to transport metals. Or, mind you, there's a lot of people who still do restorations for homes and commercial properties. And so you may have to go to Doll Tile, one Doll Tile to pick up a piece of, so you may have to pick up some shit in order to take it to the other Doll Tile in order for it to be delivered. Or for another company to pick it up so that way they can do the restoration or go and switch out some floors or whatever the case may be. So there's always a business. People just gotta look, instead of looking at the big thing, look at the operation that's going on. That's what I would say. Look at the operation of how everything is moving. So when you look at Walmart, right? Instead of just looking at, oh, I love to own a Walmart. Okay, what about the person that delivers the bread? What about the person that delivers the pharmaceuticals to the pharmacy for those Walmarts that have the pharmacy, right? Who the fuck delivers that? Where do they get it from? Somebody got to deliver it. You see what I'm saying? Like, somebody has to deliver all this stuff. Or sometimes they got vending machines inside the Walmarts. Somebody got to own it. Who owns it? Who owns the vending machine? Or what about the glass? What about the glasses that's inside the shop? That's inside the Walmart. You know, when you got to go to the optics and shit. Everybody. Hey, bro, chill. He said, I bought a dump trailer. I bought a dump trailer 10 years ago for $4,500, rent it out for see, again, you can rent it out too. You can buy the truck just to rent it out. You can say, you know what? I don't want to do the business, but I'm gonna buy the truck and I'm gonna rent it out to people. How many people are willing to say, you know what? I don't got $20,000, $30,000 to put down on the fucking box truck. But I know this guy who's willing to rent it for me, to rent it out to me for X amount of dollars. I can sustain that because the money that I'm making to do this delivery is $1,000 to deliver this. I can pay $400, so I just profit $600 off of that. What we talking about? There's ways to do everything. Then you said, dog tie, I knew you were on those high-end products, 10-foot ceilings, babe.
Which also you can do the same thing for. The statistics
Hey,
are
bro.
ridiculous. Look at this.
I know about
53% of
dog
total shipping costs are related to the last mile. 1 mile of your shipping is most of the costs. 90% of consumers see 2 to 3 day delivery as an expectation.
Yep.
Because, you know, we see no magic in the world anymore. It's an $84.72 billion projected value of just the last mile delivery market. In-house delivery fleets are the most common type of last mile delivery. 42% of all companies require some help from a last mile fleet delivery. So that means, as opposed to those other businesses we showed you, your demand curve is going to go like this. Now, there are a lot of tough parts about it.
But here's the thing, though, Bull City. I worked for a company that did remodels. I worked for a company that did remodels for, you know, people, you know, more of the lavish luxury homes. People, I'm talking about homes upward of 600 to 2 million. So I worked with those. So I used to have to go to Dog Tile all the time to get different products. Whether it was tile or whether it was grout or for whatever the case may be, to remodel these homes. So yeah, I'm very aware. Or if it was gravel, because you know in Arizona not many people have grass, so it's a whole lot of gravel, pavers and shit like that out here. So I had to get a lot of that. So yeah.
Shipping and logistics and transport businesses, such as expensive trucks, so you want to be careful on leasing, such as the ability for you to have drivers that are good, although I saw Waymo go by, so in the future maybe they're autonomous. So let's say you, like me, could never drive this thing and maybe this is too expensive for you to get. Well, you can actually do a courier business too, which is basically like a version of side hustling and Ubers, but sometimes they're certified and so you can make more money doing them. There's levels to the game that usually...
You know what? That might be a move. I ain't gonna hold y'all. That might be a move for me. Cause like I mentioned, I got a truck. That might be a move. I gotta look into that. I gotta look into it. Do some small, start off small, something that doesn't take away too much time from me. I can make a couple of deliveries, pick up and deliveries. Make a certain amount, and then after that, you know, I can just grow it from there. Like I said, I do got a background in logistics and in transportation, so all right. I think we cooking here.
Correlate with the size of the truck. I think this business, for a good operator, even though there's probably not huge margins, could be a really interesting business, and data seems to agree with me. Senior care centers. This one actually surprised me. I didn't realize how low of failure rate these businesses have, but I guess it makes sense for a couple different reasons. First of all, you've got government subsidies and state subsidies. So the government knows they need to take care of senior citizens, so they provide an easier way for people to do that. That's point one. The second point that's interesting is if you look at the demographics of the US today, what's happening? We're having this massive balloon of baby boomers who need somewhere to go. And increasingly, grandma doesn't live with us. They live in a center like this. We also are seeing this massive increase of Alzheimer's, dementia, or advanced care needs in these facilities, which actually increases how much money you can charge by 3 to 5x, although it's pretty sad. The other thing that's interesting is I was looking at this, and like this facility, millions of dollars to build. Like, how could you do this if you were a beginner? And then I realized, oh, there are all these small little houses where if you zone it right, you get the proper certifications and licensing depending on the state and city that you're in, you can have a senior care center that just has 1 or 2 individuals that take care of a few people that share a house. That's super interesting. In fact, I lived by one in San Diego. And the last thing is, let me tell you why I'd never do this business.
That's true.
Could you imagine being the person that has to kick somebody out of a senior care center just because they don't have money, but they're old and they're alone? And what are you going to do? That's why I wouldn't do this business, even though apparently it's kind of hard to fail if people need a place to live no matter what. Also, cool stat, 9.18 billion is the size of this industry in 2022. And it's growing at like 6 to 7%, which is wild. So if you have a heart of stone and you like to take care of grandma, this might be the business for you. Real estate, rental properties in particular. Andrew Carnegie famously said 90% of all millionaires got there through some form of real estate. Now, 90% of all billionaires did it. But if you're going for your first million, rental
He said she
properties
got a
are a
wagon.
great way to incrementally do it, also using a bunch of tax advantages. Here, let me give you a few reasons why and some of the stats on this business. One, the success rate on real estate is crazy high, 85.3% on rental properties. That means that they don't go defunct or bankrupt as often. 44 million Americans are home renters. So there's a huge captured market, and actually that market is increasing today. The other thing that's fascinating is they spend $485 billion a year on rent. Oftentimes, it's more expensive to rent than to own on a monthly basis. So you get to benefit from that. You want to break down how much you're going to make on average based on what other people make. So landlords on average make about $97,000 a year. If mom and pop landlords own multiple properties over time, you could stack a couple $100K. What's interesting is mom and pops, me and you, own something like 20.5 million rental units in the US, which means that there's a lot of opportunity. There's a proven model. There's a specific base case for this. Now, this has been documented all over the internet, so I won't go over it ad nauseum. But if you're going to play the rental property game, do you actually understand enough to put the guarantee and the cash down that you might need on a property, because they come after you if you can't pay it off. But I like real estate.
Real estate is good. Real estate is a dope game to play, but don't lose your job. Don't leave your job. Because we already did some content on another person who decided to go all in on real estate, and it's hard for them to make profit. And the only income she got is her real estate, in which I think it was like $300. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a dope profit margin, then great, and you can sustain your lifestyle, do it. But if you can't sustain your lifestyle and you aren't making enough, keep that 9 to 5. Keep that 9 to 5 until your profits are 10x or 5. I would say 5x at least, 5x what you're making at your job, and then it's like, all right, now we can make a move. The only way I can not have it is 4 wheels. We own 6 and I manage 13. Damn.
High success business. Laundromat. This one is fascinating business. 92% success rate. I think it's probably
Miss Freckles. This might be. I ain't gonna hold you, Miss Freckles. This might be the move for you. This might be the move for you. 92% success rate. A 92% success rate. You already make your own. You already make your own soaps. That's a selling point. That's a selling point. You got your own products in there. So therefore, you can sell your products. Hear me out. Let's just say you get your laundromat, right? And everybody's doing their own thing, everything's set up. But you say, you know what? I want to make some money I want to make some extra money. I want to bring some extra money into the business. So what you then do, you bring in your homemade soaps, which then you label them because they got white labels, right? They got white labels. You can put your own brand on them. You can sell that separately from the business. Like, listen, you can buy these right here. You can tell them the benefits of using your soaps versus using the generic soaps or the name brand soaps, and why yours is better. And to be honest with you, you can price yours maybe a little bit less or a little bit more, however you want to do it. But considering the fact that we live in a time now where everybody seems to have some type of allergic reaction, or their skin is sensitive, and boom, you're already covering that. And because you have the customer service, and because you have a way of how you operate your business that people love coming to your shit, they can wash their clothes. If you get to a point where people don't even want to wash their clothes at home, they come to your shit to wash their clothes, and then they buy your products on top of that, you're making a killing. Just saying. Yep, you can price them higher. Premium product deserves premium pricing. Exactly. So now you can price them higher. Listen,
I see you, and then you can purchase. Of course, you're gonna buy a vending machine that you're gonna make money from too, because some people may forget their shit. Like, oh, I forgot my laundry. I was in a rush. So now they gotta buy some shit out your vending machine. Or you can say, listen, you can buy that. Or if you have allergic skin or whatever the case may be, sensitive skin, you might want to buy Miss Freckles products. A little bit more expensive, but they smell good, keep your clothes clean. You don't got to worry about, your skin being irritated. Here you go. There's a market for every price range, 1,000%. There's a market for it. So there you go.
Really somewhere between 87% and 95%. And it's because these things often are cheap to start, $100,000 to $300,000. They last for a long time. The machines last for anywhere from, let's call it 5 to 20 years on average. They have repeat customers who come week after week after week. And since the number of locations is in a decline, you're actually not seeing a ton of competition spring up. The interesting part about laundromats also are you can add additional revenue streams. So you can have a vending machine on site, you can have an ATM company. And if you want to take a laundromat that on average probably taps out at mid 6 figures in revenue, you add delivery and what's called wash and fold. If you see inside,
just like a DoorDash situation. It's literally just like a DoorDash. Literally just like a DoorDash. And then if you really want to up the scale, depending on your capacity. Now listen, I want express. I need express, so I need my shit washed within 3 or 4 hours. I bet. You need it. You need it express. I got you. But you're gonna have to pay premium prices for that express. What? Our typical deliveries or our typical pickups are on Sunday. I bet. And we typically have it to you within the next 48 hours. Man, I need it less than 48 hours. I bet. So therefore, you're gonna have to pay a premium price. You're gonna have to pay 2x of what you normally would pay. A lot of people, when they're in dire need, and the people who got the money, I bet I don't care. I just need that. I need it. Bet. I pick it up Sunday, I wash it. I pick it up on Sunday, and I have it back to you on Monday. Easy work. Easy work.
I will try to sneak in there. The ladies fold the clothes like this.
Yeah,
they put it in bags
and
they send out to the neighborhood. That one bag costs you something like $30 to $50, and it costs them dollars to.
And then mind you, now you got your own merch. See, that's what they antique. That's if you really good at marketing, really good at your brand. Now you can sell them your laundry bags. You sell them your personal laundry bags with your brand and name on it, because they're gonna feel like, man, I love that laundry mat. I got me one of their bags. You know what I'm saying? It only cost me an extra $5 or $10. They're gonna constantly use that. So much money around the globe. Oh my gosh. So much money. I ain't gonna hold you. I be getting overwhelmed. I'm like, damn, there's so much money out here.
Wash and fold. And so there's actually big margin if you can understand the logistics of that business. Also, if you want to be a total stud on how to do it, you can use a company like Sense, which is a technology company. I own part of this company, by the way, that allows you to make everything to do with laundry mats a lot easier. Owning.
She said, it is definitely priced accordingly by the pound. I would do a deal on kids' clothes bags for a flat rate. The kiddos deserve to have their clothes clean and cared for too. I agree. Skip the line pricing for that service. Miss Freckles said, fuck them kids. This is business. And then you can add a subscription service too. For those people who do it on a consistent basis. Like, listen, I need my shit picked up every Sunday and clean. Subscription service. But if you need it by a certain time, you just add, they just pay an extra fee. Subscription service.
Subscription services are the new thing now. You got to subscribe to a lot of different shit. You got to subscribe. Subscription services are the new way to make a ton of money. Because when you think about it, a lot of people, they subscribe to shit, but then guess what happens? They forget about it. And that shit just constantly keep coming out. Constantly keep coming out. They even forgot about it the whole time. Especially if it's like a small amount, like $10, $20. They forget about that $20. It's constantly keep coming out. Now you get a whole bunch of people that's on a delivery service. Now you can get you a whole fleet of people that's willing to go pick up, deliver. Oh man, yeah, buddy.
Laundromats isn't all sunshine and rainbows. I've owned these before. So what you really need to think about is who your customer is, because sometimes you got meth addicts outside. You also have to think about how many people are you going to have on staff. You don't make that much money in it, and you want to have a bunch of employees. So it's really nice if you can add a bunch of technology that allows you to monitor the building, to collect cash, to dispense soap without any humans around. This
You see what I'm saying?
is something that most new owners come in and do. And a laundromat like this definitely has that. And the last thing is, these laundromat machines are like buying a Honda Civic. They're like $10,000 to $30,000 each. So this part ain't cheap, but it's a 92% success rate, so they last for a while. Now you get to pick businesses with a high likelihood to fail or ones with a high likelihood to succeed. But it's more than you just picking winners and losers. We're here on Main Street, and like the sign says, I love a street like this in Austin, Texas, full of small businesses that decide to give their lives serving us with something. You get to walk into an ice cream shop where people are up at 5 a.m. to make you and your family a little something. And there's magic in that happens in everyday communities by humans just like you who decide to do the hard thing, which is to actually build instead of just consume. So at this channel, we are about making Main Street millionaires. You should subscribe if you want to be one, but you should also—
Man, Cody better hire me. Cody better hire me, bro. As her extension of her channel, she better hire me, because we talking business over here. We talking business through culture, and we tying it back to money. She better hire me. She better stop playing. I sent her an email too. Ain't gonna lie. But in all seriousness though, all you gotta do is open your eyes, right? All you gotta do is open your eyes. Look at the businesses that you go to. Look at the mom and pop stores that you go to, right? Look at how outdated a lot of their shit is. A lot of them haven't even caught up to today's modern day. So that's something that you can add value right then and there. Okay, well, damn, y'all taking cash still? I don't even think I got cash. Boom. Problem. You can solve a problem right there. Now listen, y'all probably can make more money if you just add, an Apple Pay machine or a tap to pay. You can make more money by doing this. And she only lists 7 businesses. There's a ton of businesses out here right now that you can purchase or that you can tap into, and you can start making money out the gate. You just have to learn. You just have to know how to add value to that company to elevate. Man, listen. I got so much in play right now. I got so much that I want to do. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got so much I want to do, but I gotta stay level-headed. Because I ain't gonna lie, I get to a point like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. Oh, but I also can do this too. I can do this. Damn, that looks like it's dope. But gotta keep the main thing. YouTube, that's the main focus, right? But there are also other things that I can do that I already have a background in, which is transportation. So I'm gonna look into that. And as I showed y'all with my email, I'm already looking into businesses as well. But we're looking for absentee ownership, not something that requires me to be there. Absentee ownership, it can still operate, still cash flows without me being there, and I can still keep the 9 to 5 and be making money from multiple sources of income. That's what we focus on.
It's what we are focused on. You know what I mean? Feel me? The laundry said the laundry equipment distributors will finance all the equipment with a personal guarantor. Yep. Yep, that's a fact. I love counting the cash. I love counting the laundromat cash, but the payment systems are better for customer retention. Yep. Don't spread yourself thin. Write ideas down and refine those ideas. The best will stand out. And those, yeah, I'm definitely doing that. I'm definitely doing that. I calm down from time to time. You know, I'll look at it. I'll get excited about it, and then I take a couple of steps back, and I'm like, you know what? That may not be it for me. Sounds good, sounds dope, but I don't think that's something that I need to do. But when you talk about transportation, right? That's something I already know. That's something that I'm already used to. So that wouldn't be a bad idea because I'm already ahead in the fact that I already got a vehicle. I got a truck. So now it just comes down to looking at what I can deliver or who I would deliver. Just doing the research in regards to what companies are looking for drivers or looking for carriers. Looking at that. You feel me? Like, man, I get hella excited, bro. I can barely talk. I'm not gonna lie. I get excited about this. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how when this content is created and I clip these videos up, it's crazy how it doesn't do as well as the drama shit. It's like, bro, y'all niggas talk about money all the time. Y'all talk about how y'all ain't got it. You talk about how there ain't no jobs out here. You talk about you wish you had more money or ways that you can make more money. And we're providing that for you here on the Courtney Show. And y'all niggas ain't even tapping in. What kind of shit is that? Mind you, listen, let me tell you how crazy it is. Let me tell you how crazy this bullshit is. When we started this live out, right? We were at almost 100 viewers. We're down to 9 since we started talking about money. We're down to 9. And it was slowly gradually, like in the beginning of the show, in the beginning of this topic, I think we were like at 40 something. Now we're back down to like 9. Come on, fam. People don't want to make no bread for real. They really ain't out here trying to get to it. They just talking. They want to see the drama to get that dopamine. But I get the dopamine from when we talk about money. Man, I get overstimulated when we talk about money. Because it's like, man, it's so many different ideas that we can get. We walk by so much money each and every day. There's so much money out here. And then it gets so overwhelming. It's like, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. I can do this. But damn, I can do this too. You feel me? And so that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy to me. We out here talking about money, how to get to it. Better life, ownership. Getting back to when smaller businesses really matter. You feel me? So fuck all the big corporations. Winston knows. There's a lot of multi-millionaires that got small businesses. They're creating a whole life. They're creating a legend. They're creating a legacy, bro. And passing it down from generation to generation. There's a new millionaire every single day. A new millionaire every single day. All it took was for somebody to just step out and realize stepping outside the matrix, like, there's a way I can make money. How can I do it? What do I know? What skills do I have? What is it that I'm already doing? And I like to use myself as an example. I got a media platform, right? Content creation. I don't call myself a YouTuber. I call myself a production manager. I have a media company
That's what I have. But I also have a background in transportation. All right, how can I use that? How can I leverage that to get me further than where I'm trying to go to? We just saw right here, transportation is a high success rate. So that tells me that one, transportation is not easily disrupted. There's a lot of business for it. And two, if I got the skills, that means, all right, cool. So I'm diving into something that I don't need to relearn. I already know it and understand it. So therefore it'll be easier for me. And I'm already a step ahead because I got a vehicle that can get me started. All I gotta do is do the research and figure out who's needing somebody to transport products. Simple. I said the only thing to talk about bullshit, but if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's fact. Might have to get with Miss Freckles and create a daycare of one kid at a time. Man, listen, it's gonna be like the Leering Center. One kid at a time. Miss Freckles, yes, ma'am. All jokes just playing. These kids nowadays are rotten. Man, who you telling? These kids ain't shit. These kids ain't shit because they get soft parent. They get soft parenting. That's why. It's a lot of soft parenting going on. A lot of these kids, you know, their parents like, well, they have feelings too, so let them express themselves. I ain't letting you express shit. You better express your ass to that bed and go to sleep. That's what you better do. I got time to play with you. You finna sit here. Why in the hell I'm gonna sit here and listen to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 2-year-old or a 9-year-old talking about how they feel? You barely even understand how you fucking feeling right now. Man, you better go to bed. Go sleep it off. Walk it off. I ain't got time to play with you. Go to sleep. Take your ass to sleep. I want to hear that shit. I ain't got time. Like, I ain't got time to hear that. Go on about your business. Go about your business. I ain't got time to hear that shit. Go about your business. The CES military school. Listen, they don't want me. Listen, they do not want me. They do not want me to have a daycare. I promise you, it will not be. It's drill sergeant. It's drill sergeant day when I come in that business. I'm gonna have the whole uniform on. I'm gonna have the whole uniform on every single day. It's gonna be like kindergarten cop, but just the military version. On God. We not playing no games. We not playing no games at all. I'm coming at this straight up. Butty hood. About face. Half right. Ooh. Push up position. Move. Down. Up. 1. Down. Up. 2. Down. Up. 3. Down. I swear to God. Oh God. Oh God. I'm not playing with these kids, bro. I'm putting their ass on. I'm not playing. I'm telling the strongest 4-year-olds in the country. Oh God. I'm talking shit to the kids. Oh, you too fat to be talking like, oh, you too fat to be talking to me like that. What you say? Half right. Push up position. Move. Down. Tubby, tubby. Up. Down. Tubby, tubby. Oh God, bro. I'm not playing. I'm not finna play with these kids. They're gonna be, I'm gonna be putting their ass in parade rest and everything. Parade rest. Shit. Kids gonna come back home. Nigga, you went to boot camp? Nah, Mr. Edgar, he don't play. Mr. Edgar, he don't play. When he walked through them doors, he a nice guy, but when he walked through them doors and he got the uniform on, you can't play with him. You can't. Ain't no talking back. If he tell you to do something, you better do it. If you don't, half right, face. But I'm telling everybody, you know what? Oh, okay. Oh, so Stanley, you want to sneak snacks in here, huh? Didn't I tell your mama not to put no snacks in your bag? Everybody, half right, face, die, up, down. Matter of fact, hold up. Pause. When you go down, I want you to say, thank you, Stanley. When I say down, you say thank you. When I say up, you say Stanley. Down, thank you. Up, Stanley. Down. I'm telling you, bro, I'll be hardcore as fuck out there. Straight crying. They need the discipline. I ain't got time. Got time to play with them. Love them. Be like, I love them to death, but you ain't finna get over on me. You lying to me. But let me read this super chat real quick though. Oh man. Shout out to my guy Bull City for supporting the channel with the 20 ball. He said, "You right. I made too many jokes not to support. Respect to you, CES." I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, dog. I appreciate you, fam. Hold up, I'm missing. The elementary school had me coaching 8-year-old to 11-year-old soccer. I was like, you are hurt or injured. You hurt? Get up. You injured? Off my field. On God. What you crying? What you crying for? Are you hurt? No. Are you bleeding? No. Are you dead? No. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. You come up with all that hysterical crying for. Bruh, get out of my face. I don't want to hear that. Are you bleeding? Is something broken? Ain't nothing broken? No. Are you bleeding? No. Well, why are you crying like that? Because, oh, you embarrassed that you failed in front of everybody. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. The boy who cried wolf. Get out of my face. I don't want to see that. Oh God, I don't want to see that. Get out of my face. It was wild. And I'm not sensitive at all. I play to win. And listen, I play to win. I'm not listening. I ain't here for all that. Well, you got to be soft with him, man. Listen, I'm not here to be soft. You know what you smell that? What? I smell something. I smell pussy. I'm not playing that game, bro. I'm not playing it. Listen, I'm not playing. Not doing it. Not doing it. I ain't got time for these people. But listen, man, tonight was fire. Tonight was fun. In fact, I was a soccer kid kicking the other kids in the face with the ball. I was raised there. Damn, you was kicking him in the face. Damn, bully. I ain't telling him to kick him in the face with the ball. Shit, you on a whole different level right now. Shit. Like, hey, you gotta watch out for her. Listen. She ain't trying to kick it in the goal. She's trying to kick it to your face. You better get out the way. You better get out the way immediately. Get out the way immediately. Or you gonna feel the wrath of the soccer ball. on your nose. Get out the way. Take man by ball, European style. Their face was in the way of the ball and the goal. Their face though? Their face was in the way of it. That's crazy work. What you trying to punt that hole like a field goal? What you doing? You just out there kicking. You just out there running and kicking. You didn't care who was in your way. That's what that sounded like. You just running and kicking. Just running and kicking. That's all you was doing. That's some crazy work. You wild. You wild. Mia Ham, yeah, I got you. I got you. Shit, you ain't playing no games. Like, you better get the fuck out of my way. If you don't want the ball in your face, I'll advise you to get out of my way. All leg power. Y'all crazy as hell. But listen, man, tonight was fun. Tonight was dope. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys are here Saturday too. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know. Well, hold on. Am I doing that? Nope. I think I should be good. Make sure you're here Saturday, 3:05 p.m. 3:05 p.m. on Saturday. Make sure you're here. Tap in, show your love. Make sure you share the live. We're gonna be kicking it. And yeah, today was a great show. It was a dope show. It was a dope show. Let me ask y'all a question before I go. So I got some things to do Saturday, right? Should I do a live stream on Friday and then just replay it on Saturday? Or should I just pre-record on Friday and just set it for Saturday? What y'all think? She said no wagging here, just false advertising. Oh, so you just Slim Jim, huh? What y'all think? Should I go live Friday and then just replay it on Saturday? Or should I just pre-record it and post it on Saturday at that time? What y'all think? Gotta get these ratings back. Jesus Christ. What y'all think? Let me know. Let me know before I go. I'm on vacation, so I have no preference. All right, you ain't got no preference. All right. But what would you prefer, though? Would you prefer me live, or would you prefer me actually doing a pre-recorded, though? Because if you prefer me live, I'll just do it Friday, and then I could just replay it on Saturday. I just have it replay on Saturday for the people who might miss it on Friday. I'm not sure. Regardless, I will watch. You prefer live? Okay. I always like live stream. All right, say less. So I'll do a live. So what I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna do a live Friday then. So make sure you set your schedule for Friday. It's gonna be at 7:05 p.m. 7:05 p.m. on Friday. And so and then I'll just replay it, and I'll just do a replay on Saturday at the same time. So that works. I like that. So set your schedules. 7:05 p.m. Friday. We're going to go live. I'm going to do a live stream, and then I'll just repost that live for Saturday. All right? That's a bet. That's a bet. Go tell your people, too. Go tell y'all people, too. What you say, bro? Edgar, someone said your birth certificate was an apology note from. That ain't even funny. But all right. Well, I appreciate y'all for kicking it with your boy again. So yeah, make sure y'all are here Friday, 7:05 p.m. to come kick with me live. I got you, Spider Boy. 7:05 p.m. Friday. Until then, y'all be good. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay safe. And I'll holler.